These words, at this very moment, are meant for you, a gentle reminder that I know the weight pressing upon you, the scattered worries about your health, your family, your dreams, your finances. Rest for a moment in the truth that my power fully surrounds every detail of your life. Even now, my presence draws near to cover and uplift you. Your struggles are seen, each choice to stand and not give up. Every night you have held your hope close. I witness your daily courage and your hidden cries. Let go of desperation. Do not let fear rule your heart. I have come to comfort your soul, to settle your mind, and fill your entire being with genuine peace. Hear me again, even if distractions call for your attention. Focus your heart, for my answer is here, closer than your next breath. Let your ears and spirit remain open. I will defend you from those who scheme to harm you. As your Father, as your God, nothing and no one will prevail against you as you walk with me, hand in hand, following my way, feeding your spirit each morning with my words. Each sunrise brings more than a new day, it brings my assurance. Let your steps be guided by the light I bring to your path. Know this is my constant sign that you are never alone. When the shadows grow long, feel my embrace, my presence surrounding you, awakening extraordinary things all around. I have placed within you a heart that refuses to yield, a spirit of courage and victory. With every intention and dream you hold, move forward with confidence, because with me at your side, the unreachable becomes possible. Walk always by my side, slipping your hand into mine. Trust that when obstacles arise, call on me without hesitation. I hear and I move, sometimes in ways you cannot see right away, but always in fullness. My message arrives from my sacred throne, and I urge you to treasure it. My desire is to guard you from every evil, sparing you from dangerous pitfalls and the snares of destructive choices. My light is not a distant hope. It is already shining, leading you away from paths that would only cause harm or regret. Resist the invitation to make a home for anger or resentment in your heart. Offer forgiveness to those who wound you. Pray for them, release them, but do not surrender your journey because of their actions. Many blessings are just ahead, even when the way feels unclear. I keep my eyes lovingly on you. I long to stand as your strength from this moment on. If you follow me closely, if you keep to my truth and let my words shape your inner life, then the wonders I promise begin to take root and grow in you. Those who align themselves with my heart know what it is to walk beneath an open sky of blessings. Their path straightens, their steps become sure. My support is yours, offered freely. Just reach for my hand and together we will move forward. Whatever your hands undertake will carry lasting favor and goodness, not by accident but by abiding with me. You will not be abandoned or left alone. You will have what is necessary to care for those you love, to see your goals flourish, to watch old hopes rekindle and new dreams break forth. Remember, it is my grace that turns things in your favor, changing currents for you and your family. Practice gratitude. Let your faith in me color how you see even the smallest gifts. Invite me to lead your life, letting my spirit point out the turns you should take, and you will step directly into the astonishing story I have written just for you. As you travel onward, some will try to challenge or wound you. Bless them instead. Do not be ensnared by their traps or discouraged by voices determined to shake your resolve. Those who set themselves against you ultimately hope to push you away from my presence, to isolate and weaken you so that you will forsake who you are in me. But this, my dear one, is not your fate. Raise my words as your shield and your strength. Recall what I tell you. My word brings life, offering you the wisdom you will need when troubles emerge. What I have purposed for you, no other can withhold or diminish. It is sealed between us. I ask not for your riches or accomplishments. What I desire is simple but profound. I ask for your heart. Give me your rightful place at the center of your life, your home, your family. Come to me with your words and your silence. Whether you see evidence or feel my nearness, I am always working, quietly preparing answers to your prayers. Those anxious loops playing in your mind, the unresolved problems that steal your sleep, place them now in my hands. Share honestly with me what stirs at your heart and what you need. My provision is faithful and wise, always aligned with what is truly good for you. Ask with trust, without fear that I might grant you what you cannot bear. I hear your prayers, and I know even the hidden things unspoken in your soul. Nothing is concealed from my eyes. I shine my clarity on your steps from above, ensuring that stumbling blocks lose their grip. Trust me. When you struggle or falter, I am the one searching for you, lifting you back up so you emerge victorious from your battles and reach your desire enfolded in my blessing. This is not coincidence. Your spirit recognizes the deep movement at work within you now, the certainty that this message is for you. My love has surrounded you right from the start, providing you with strength and discernment. No longer let defeat drag you toward despair. Instead, listen as I speak courage and life into your innermost being. Take a breath, feel your heartbeat slow, and be reminded, you are not alone in this moment, or any yet to come. I see you where you are now, each thought spun in your mind, every longing and question rising within you. In your seeking, do not be troubled if answers do not arrive as quickly or as clearly as you hope. My presence is not limited by your understanding, nor confined to any one path or moment. When you ache for closeness, know that I am near, as intimate as breath and as constant as the light that returns after night. Every doubt you carry is not a barrier between us, but an invitation for you to come as you are, honest and unshielded, so I may meet you in truth. It is not perfection I ask of you, but a heart willing to trust, even if that trust is raw or uncertain. I love you as you are, and my love moves towards you before you could ever move towards me. There are moments, perhaps, when suffering seems inescapable. Your heart bruised by sorrow, your spirit weighed down by burdens too large to name. I do not ignore your pain, nor do I turn away from your darkness. When tears fall unseen, I hold each one as precious, knowing the depths from which they come. With me, every sigh and silent plea finds its home. Even when you do not sense my arms around you, I am holding you fast. I do not minimize your hurts, nor rush you through them. In my compassion, I dwell with you there, offering solace that no storm can sweep away. Allow yourself to grieve, to rage, to hope again. In each turn of your emotion, my love persists. You are seen, known, and cherished. Your wounds matter to me, and in time, I knit together what has been broken. Your journey takes you through seasons of confusion, of dry days, and of bright ones, and at times you wonder if you have wandered too far from me. Hear this, my faithfulness is not measured by the steadiness of your steps, but by the unwavering certainty of my promise. If you stagger, if you return to patterns of fear or regret, I do not recoil. Instead, my mercy runs out to meet you, welcoming you home without hesitation or accusation. With me, there is no shame too binding, no failure too final. Let your fears rest in my hands. When you cannot see a way forward, trust that I am making one beneath your feet, even when the path ahead feels hidden. Walk with me, even falteringly, and I will be your guide and refuge. There are days you will doubt whether any of this is real, whether I am truly good or if you are truly beloved. Let me address this unrest not with demands for blind faith, but by inviting you to listen for my voice in the quiet places, where kindness shows up in your midst, where forgiveness blooms in unlikely soil, where beauty persists even after disappointment. These are glimpses of my nearness, signs that my spirit is at work in ways you may not always perceive. Doubt is not exile. It is a door I will gladly enter with you. Do not fear your questioning, for I am patient with every inquiry. I am not threatened by your uncertainty. I remain steadfast, holding you through it all, ready to reveal my heart when you are weary and searching. You were not made to walk alone. You have heard that I call you to love, to serve, to forgive. Sometimes you despair of your capacity to do so. You see your smallness and failures and wonder if you can really reflect the love I have for the world. Be gentle with yourself. My power is made evident not in your displays of strength, but in your willingness to yield, to trust, to try again. It is not heroics I require, but a heart willing to be shaped by my own. I delight in your efforts, imperfect as they may be. Every act of mercy you extend, each time you choose kindness or reconciliation, you participate in my redeeming work. In your daily life, in ordinary gestures, my love lives through you. Do not underestimate the beauty of persistence, or the miracle of hope when everything feels fragile. Even now I am at work restoring creation, undoing all that harms and divides, tending to the wounds of the world. You may see brokenness and imagine I am distant, but I am present in every patient effort toward justice and healing, in every sacrificial love that costs and perseveres. I invite you not only to receive my love, but to join me in embodying it. There are injustices you cannot solve, griefs you cannot repair, but together, we transform suffering into new possibility. When you pray, when you listen, when you act out of compassion, you co-create with me the hope this world needs. Each day, trust that your life as it is, offered to me, becomes part of my ongoing renewal. When fear threatens to close your heart, remember that I have not given you a spirit of timidity, but of courage and love. With me, you are not defined by scarcity or overshadowed by your past. Step forward in the confidence of my affection. Failures cannot diminish your worth, nor successes inflate it. Your value is anchored in my unchanging regard. Each moment is an opportunity to receive afresh the grace I pour out, and to offer it again to others. Forgiveness is possible. Reconciliation is my desire. New beginnings wait around every corner, not just once but as often as you need. If you feel insignificant or unseen in the world, do not mistake your life as small. Every heart matters to me. I watch over you with attention deeper than you comprehend, rejoicing in your laughter, weeping with you in sorrow, delighting in your becoming. You are not forgotten, not a mistake, not too much or too little. The world may overlook what you offer, but I do not. Hold to the assurance that you are, my beloved, precious from the first breath and always. I am patient with you in your confusion, your wandering, your longing to be made whole. I am for you, not against you. My invitation stands. Come and rest. Come and wrestle. Come and find that nothing can separate you from my love. As you open your life, even in trembling hope, you participate in all I am doing to heal and to save. I am with you, now and always, until every tear is wiped away, and joy endures without end. Beloved, as you move through each day, I am closer to you than your own breath. There is no moment so dark that my love cannot find you, no thought or feeling hidden from my knowing gaze. Let this truth become your anchor. Before you speak, I have heard. Before you stumble, I am ready to lift you. Anxiety and fear may clamor at your heart, but they do not have the last word, not while I abide with you. When doubts arise within you, when circumstances swirl with uncertainty, remember that my wisdom is steadfast. I did not form you to be alone in the tempest of your questioning. Bring those doubts, even your deepest confusion, into the light of my presence. I do not flinch from the hard questions or shun you for wondering. There is room in my heart for every honest prayer, no matter how raw or unfiltered. I welcome your honesty, for I see the longing beneath each question, a longing to know me, to understand your purpose, to find meaning in joy as well as pain. If weariness burdens your spirit, know that I have gentleness for your weakness. My strength is not reserved for the triumphant, but freely offered to those who surrender their striving and open their hands to receive. Let me set my peace upon you, a stillness the world cannot manufacture, and no grief can undo. Rest is not earned by performance or perfection. It is my gift to you, inviting you to release every burden. When you weep, I am not impatient. When you falter, I am not distant. My embrace waits for you, steadfast and gentle, unafraid of your broken places. In seasons where joy appears scarce and hope seems faint, do not look to your circumstances for the full measure of my love. My love is not a reflection of the rise and fall of your fortunes. It is the unchanging ground upon which your life is built. Whether laughter rings through your days or silence fills the hours, my delight in you does not waver. I considered all of you, the strengths and shortcomings, victories and regrets, before you even knew your own name. I chose to love you, and I do not waver in that choice. Each encounter with another, family, friend, stranger, offers you a chance to show forth what you have received from me. My compassion is meant for spilling over, not just gathering within. Open your heart to forgiveness when the hurt feels fresh and undeserved, for I have freely forgiven you more than you can measure. Extend gentleness, even when you are weary of others' failings. remembering the patient mercy I give you every morning. The world aches for a love that does not retreat at the first sign of imperfection. Through you, I long to show that such love is possible, because it is the very love I have for you. As you seek direction, whether in choice or calling, trust that I am already at work in the details you cannot yet see. I do not demand that you decipher every twist of your journey before taking a step. Walk with me in the day that is given, attentively, faithfully, opening your heart in prayer and listening for my leading. My guidance is not a distant riddle. It is a quiet presence, nudging you in ways you may only recognize as you look back. Do not be ashamed of taking small steps, for I am in the ordinary and the gradual as surely as in the spectacular. The path I mark for you sometimes winds through shadowed valleys. Some trials will not be explained in this life, and pain may seem to press against all hope. But I promise you, no suffering is wasted, no tear unnoticed. Where the world sees failure or loss, I am already crafting depths of character, understanding, and grace within you. Let me bear your bitterness, harness your sorrow, and transform it into a wellspring that brings comfort to others. Your scars are precious to me, not for the wound, but for the courage it takes to keep loving in a broken world. You are not defined by the weight of your failures, nor by the applause of others. Your truest name, the one I give you, is beloved. This name is not contingent on achievement. It does not fade with age or diminish with disappointment. Return to this truth as often as you lose your way, for I do not grow weary of reminding you. When voices, within or around, try to diminish your worth, listen for my spirit. My tenderness toward you is not a passing moment, it is an eternal promise. Lift your eyes to the ones around you. See in them what I see, the image of a soul, crafted for love, yearning for hope, needing redemption as much as you do. Offer encouragement freely, serve generously, and let humility ground every word or action. Resist the urge to withdraw in self-protection. Instead, open yourself to the risk and blessing of community. I am found where 2 or 3 gather, and I delight in the bonds you nurture. Isolation breeds distortion, but light grows where lives are shared. Come to me daily, not because I require ritual, but because I desire relationship. Bring your ordinary moments, your routines and interruptions, your delights and dreads. No prayer is too small and no concern too trivial. Abide in me, and you will find that I abide more deeply in you. Over time, you will see that my presence radiates through even your weakest places. Joy and hope will take root where once despair threatened, and the miracle of grace will unfold in unexpected ways. Whatever shadows tomorrow holds, remember, my love never falters, and my promises are sure. Not one word I have spoken will fail. As you rest in this assurance, allow courage to rise anew within you. Take heart, for I am with you, now and always, loving you with a steadfastness you cannot exhaust. Child of my heart, I see that you press on, weary at times, yet unwilling to let go of the longing for more than what your eyes can find. Even when you call out for reassurance and the silence lingers, know that I am closer than your breath. Though I let the silence linger, it is not emptiness, but invitation. I draw you beyond the noise, so you can sense how deeply you are known. Sometimes your striving sounds like prayer, and sometimes your restlessness speaks your faith better than words could manage. Trust that I gather every unspoken ache and cradle it within my unwavering care. I do not grow tired of your hopes, nor lose patience with the questions that flutter and sting, for all of these reflect your desire for the fullness that I have always wanted for you. When you feel unseen, remember that nothing keeps you hidden from me, not your worries, not your regrets, not the shame you do not voice aloud. I see all you are, and all you hope to become, and I hold no grudges against your struggle. The world tells you that worth must be earned and peace must be accomplished. I say to you, I loved you before you drew your first breath, and my love does not falter when you falter. You look for signs and seek assurances, but I have already set my love upon you, laid it down as a path beneath your feet. Even when insecurity wells up or disappointment casts its shadow, I am not turned away. My presence abides, quietly faithful, always upholding, never shaming. You wonder how much is enough, how many apologies, how much charity, how long to strive before rest is permitted. Beloved, Rest is not the reward for having performed well, but a gift I long to grant you because I delight in you. The ache you carry is not a burden I give, but a longing that points toward your true home in me. When you stumble, I do not step back in disappointment. Instead, I draw near, longing for you to look my way, to remember that forgiveness is not a scarce or reluctant commodity, but the current that sweeps you out of fear and resets your hopes. Let yourself lean into mercy, for I am more ready to forgive than you are to ask. Your circumstances may change and people may fail, but I remain unshaken. I am the constant you long for when everything you count on shifts at once. Lift your eyes, for what you see does not define your future. I am at work where you feel empty-handed, guiding you through uncertainty and filling the silence with meaning you may glimpse only later. The wounds you carry do not disqualify you from joy. Rather, I use even what was meant for harm to create new beginnings, to nourish in you deep understanding and hope that can't be quenched by life's losses. You are never abandoned in your grief. I enter into your pain with you, holding every tear and knowing its story. In the seeking, do not fear your questions. Your doubts are not an affront to me. I see how you wrestle with old sorrows and puzzle over tangled thoughts, and I do not turn away in impatience. Instead, I walk with you as you probe the mystery of my ways, not to scold, but to meet you deeper in your longing. Trust does not mean an absence of uncertainty. It means coming with all you are, honest and hungry, even uncertain, and yet letting me hold your heart through the searching. Faith flourishes not by demanding certainties, but by daring to open yourself in the midst of unknowns. Let my love quiet your fears, even when nothing around you settles. Your heart was made to respond to me, to be strengthened by my presence, to find freedom, not in self-reliance, but in surrender to my unchanging kindness. You do not have to perform for my attention. I cannot love you more than I already do, nor will I ever love you less. Rest in this. I do not leave my children orphaned. I do not grow distant when you fail. Draw near to me in your confusion, in your joy, in your emptiness, and in your hope, and I will be your resting place. You are part of my purpose, and I have called you not to blend in with the voices of fear or anger, but to let my peace shape your words and actions. When you speak, let it be with gentleness. When you act, let compassion be your guide. The world thirsts for grace, and through you, I intend to refresh the weary, to mend what is broken. It is not your strength that will heal, but my presence in you, patient, courageous, unfailing. You are my beloved, drawn into my heart not because you are flawless, but because I choose you, again and again, without regret. When shame's weight feels crushing and you question your worth, look to me, not to the judgments of those who cannot see your story as I do. I see every hurt and every hope. Nothing you have done or failed to do pushes you away from my embrace. My forgiveness reaches before your confession and stays long after you forget your own regrets. I seek to restore, to lift, to empower. Let my voice be louder than the fear that says you are not enough. Come to me freely, with the truth of your need and the honesty of your weakness, for I am not disgusted by your broken places. I am moved to compassion. You ask what comes next, unsure if the way ahead is secure. Take the next step, as best you can, with the assurance that every moment matters to me. You do not walk alone into the unknown. I am already present in every tomorrow you dread. When you fall short, let humility draw you close to me, and let gratitude give you courage to continue. I am your foundation, your promise, and your future. No circumstance, no matter how confusing or painful, can unravel the care I have woven through your days. Let your prayer be honest, your hope unguarded, and your faith simple. In the small daily choices, in the burdens no one else sees, in the victories and the ordinary hours, I delight in you. My deepest desire is not for you to achieve perfection, but for you to know you are loved, and to live from that joy. Even now, my arms are open. The invitation remains. Nothing can separate you from my presence, for you are mine, forever, cherished beyond all measure. Beloved child, I see the ache in your soul, the longing that presses like the tide upon the shore. I am with you in these quiet struggles, just as I was and always will be, in your moments of laughter and triumph. Every sigh in your heart is heard, every silent prayer noticed. There is nothing you think, feel, or hope for that escapes my loving gaze. When you stumble beneath the weight of your burdens, know that I am ever present, ready to lift you and steady your step. I do not grow weary of your need. In fact, In your need I reveal my gentlest care. As your heart wrestles with questions and brims with uncertainty, I invite you to let those concerns rest with me. You are not required to bear the full measure of life's complexity by yourself. Trust is not a test I set before you, but an embrace I offer with open arms. Faith does not demand that you have all the answers. It simply asks you to lean into my love, allowing yourself to be held. With every breath, I pour new mercies over you, gifts for this day and strength for what awaits tomorrow. Your journey is precious to me, not because of milestones you reach or perfection you imagine yourself achieving, but because you travel it as mine. Each step you take, whether confident or hesitant, matters deeply to me. Pain does not diminish you in my eyes. Likewise, your questions and doubts do not distance you from me. They draw me closer. For I desire relationship, not ritual, honesty over performance. You were never meant to hide your weaknesses or mask your fears. Come as you are, bruises, dreams, weariness, wonder, and discover the fullness of my care. In moments when you feel alone, misunderstood, or overlooked, remember that I see you wholly. I delight in the fullest expression of who you are, and grieve the sorrows that tighten around your spirit. I have set my heart toward you long before you thought to reach for me, and I will not withdraw it. You are no accident, and your existence is not a matter of chance. Before the sun touched the first morning or the wind sang across the waters, I chose you. There is purpose woven into your being, goodness intended despite what confusion or suffering encounters you along the way. When you believe yourself unworthy or worry that you do not measure up, fix your eyes on my unchanging affection. Do not gauge your value by the shifting opinions of others or the fleeting conditions of circumstance. You are loved not because you have earned it, but because I love, fully, freely, without regret. I call you my beloved, not as a title you must uphold, but as an identity that roots you in me. Even with all that you wish you could change, even when you falter, my grace is your covering. In your struggle, I am not a distant judge, but a father who sits beside you, sharing your burdens and guiding your way. Loss and disappointment may visit, and at times your heart will mourn what was or might have been. Allow me to gather every fragment. I do not shy from your tears or recoil from your weakness. In your moments of sorrow, know that I am beside you, holding your brokenness with gentleness. Suffering is not the end. Hope remains when you walk with me. Do not be afraid to grieve or to hope. I am the restorer of joy, the one who brings beauty from what seems lost. This is not to say pain will always make sense, but you never face it alone or unloved. Let your heart open to the quiet wonders I place around you. Even now, my handiwork surrounds your path. The laughter of friends, the loyalty of those who love you, the sun that warms your skin, all these are reminders of my continual presence. But deeper than any outward sign, my spirit moves within your heart, nudging you towards goodness, courage, and trust. Listen for my still small voice when noise and haste threaten to overwhelm. In your inmost being, I am there, strengthening, comforting, and shaping you. If you struggle to believe that a new beginning is possible, I say to you, I am the God of renewal. My mercies are not rationed, but are made new with each dawn. Guilt, regret, and the shadows of your past cannot stand against my forgiveness. Turn towards me, and I will show you that no wound is too deep for healing, no story too far gone for redemption. As surely as night gives way to morning, I bring forth hope, even in places you thought forever barren. My vision for you reaches beyond what you see. You are invited not merely to survive, but to thrive, to know joy, peace, and a love that outlasts every storm. Seek not the approval or applause of the world, but rest in my delight. Pursue justice, mercy, and humility, and you will find that your life ripples with meaning and significance, far beyond what you can imagine. Your acts of kindness, your forgiveness offered, your willingness to try again, these build a legacy that endures beyond your days. You have me, always. Whether you stand in confidence or kneel in despair, I remain steady. There are no secrets or surprises in you that could make me turn away. I rejoice in your growth and carry you when you falter. My patience exceeds your fears. My joy is not lessened by your setbacks. The world may be unsettled, and your journey may twist and turn, but my promise, my presence, does not waver. So, walk with me, Let your heart receive the comfort, courage, and direction I offer. When you are uncertain, pause and listen for my whisper. I have never left you to navigate life's tempests alone, nor do I ever tire of guiding you home. Your life matters. Your heart matters. In all things I am for you, and I am with you, always. I know the soft echo of your fears when night presses closely, and your hope feels like a slender reed bending in the wind. As I watch you, each heartbeat, each sigh, I am nearer than you dare to believe, closer than your breath. My presence is not a distant fading glow, but a living promise wrapped around every moment, even those you call empty or lost. With a whisper, I bring hidden wells of strength to the thirsty soul, granting you courage in valleys where the shadows linger. You do not wander unwatched. I walk beside you, sharing each gracious step, holding sacred the journey that only you can live. When questions clamor and you long for clear, bold answers, know my wisdom is not absent. Like sunlight slipping between leaves, my guidance finds the most tender places in your heart. Sometimes it stirs as a quiet nudge. Other times, it breaks like dawn across confusion. Trust that I am at work even in your uncertainty, weaving growth within silence and understanding within longing. I ask you to lean into my faithfulness, stepping forward when answers seem slow in coming, for you are anchored not by certainty, but by the reality of my abiding love. You have seen hardship. You have tasted disappointment and watched dreams melt away in ways that hurt like fire. Yet I have held every tear and honored every hope, even those mislaid along the path. Nothing of your pain escapes my attention, and nothing you experience is wasted or dismissed. Through every trial I draw your heart closer to the fullness of compassion, teaching you to imagine, to forgive, to reach toward the suffering of others. I celebrate your resilience and your desire for peace, but I remind you again, growth is rarely sudden. Just as seed in the soil faces the press of earth before reaching the light, so too do you find meaning in seasons that feel buried or unseen. It is not your strength alone that carries you, nor your wisdom alone that steers you true. You are upheld by the fullness of who I am, unchanging, unshakable, forever invested in your life. When your own understanding falters, rest in the assurance that my purposes hold steady. I call you to trust, not as a blind surrender, but as the natural response to being genuinely loved beyond measure. As you entrust yourself to me, you will find surprises of grace scattered along the way, small mercies, unexpected joys, the quiet knowledge that you are safe within my intentions for you. You wonder about the dreams that wake longing within you, dreams that at times feel distant or impossible. Know that I am the author of hope. I breathe life even into desires you scarcely dare admit. My vision for you eclipses limitations and eclipses every label the world may place upon you. I call forth beauty from ashes and set joy at the edge of every sorrow. Bring your unspoken desires to me, and let your trust become the doorway through which new possibility enters your days. Learn to listen for the silent unfolding of hope, for in every season I desire good for you, good beyond your imagining, shaped by wisdom, often arriving in forms you do not expect. In your moments of solitude, open your heart to me. There is no shame I cannot heal, no guilt too deep for my compassion to transform. I see the battles within you, the weariness, the self-doubt, the wounds from words spoken in anger or neglect. Nothing will cause me to turn from you. Instead, my love meets you where you are, speaking peace into your anxieties and light into your confusion. Accept this peace. Let it settle into the places where rest feels impossible. Let it restore your will to persevere and infuse your days with quiet confidence. Each relationship that shapes your story contains its own set of joys and challenges. I am within every unspoken tension, every ache for reconciliation, every prayer for understanding. Invite me to soften your resentment and to teach you new patterns of love. Forgiving others, and even yourself, is not an act performed in isolation, but made possible through the wells of mercy I pour out for you. You are not condemned by your failures, you are continually offered a chance to begin anew. I delight to see you act with humility, courage, and patience, and I am present in your smallest efforts at kindness and peace. Do not measure your worth or your progress by the standards of the world. My voice calls you beloved, even when you falter, even when you doubt your place in this life. I see you as you truly are, shaped by infinite worth, held in everlasting arms. You have seen hardship, You have tasted disappointment and watched dreams melt away in ways that hurt like fire. Yet I have held every tear and honored every hope, even those mislaid along the path. Nothing of your pain escapes my attention, and nothing you experience is wasted or dismissed. Through every trial I draw your heart closer to the fullness of compassion, teaching you to imagine, to forgive, to reach toward the suffering of others. I celebrate your resilience and your desire for peace, but I remind you again, growth is rarely sudden. Just as seed in the soil faces the press of earth before reaching the light, so too do you find meaning in seasons that feel buried or unseen. It is not your strength alone that carries you, nor your wisdom alone that steers you true. You are upheld by the fullness of who I am, unchanging, unshakable, forever invested in your life. When your own understanding falters, rest in the assurance that my purposes hold steady. I call you to trust, not as a blind surrender, but as the natural response to being genuinely loved beyond measure. As you entrust yourself to me, you will find surprises of grace. You are so precious to me. As you continue to walk with me, let this truth settle deeper within your heart. I am not distant, nor am I blind to your struggles and desires. Every ache in your soul, every plea uttered in the secret places, echoes in my heart. Sometimes you may feel alone or unheard, as if your prayers bounce back from the ceiling, fading into silence. But I am present with you, nearer than breath, attentive to every word and to the unspoken longings you barely dare to express. I have watched you grow, rejoice, stumble, and rise again. My constant presence surrounds you like a steadfast embrace, one that never wavers when your strength falters or your hope clouds. Even when you wander into uncertainty, your steps are never out of my sight. Do not let fear drive you away from me. Come, be unguarded with me. Lay down the burdens you carry so tightly, the shame, the disappointments, the mistakes you wish you could erase. I do not measure you by your failings. I see your wounds and scars, and I know how hard you try even when the world fails to recognize your efforts. I have seen you love and forgive against the grain, and I know each silent battle you have fought for good. Let these truths breathe into your weary places. I want your honesty more than your perfection. Your heart, open and vulnerable, is dearer to me than the strongest facade. Bring every uncertainty, every hope, and every regret to me. I do not flinch from your pain. Like a healer who tends a wound, I draw near, gentle and purposeful, seeking not to admonish but to restore. You are not meant to carry your story alone. The world rings with many voices vying for your worth, but I urge you to lean into my voice. Listen for me in the quiet hour and through the simple kindness of a friend. Sense my encouragement when your courage wavers. I have given you my spirit, a presence within you to comfort, teach, and gently correct when you stray. My love is not fragile. It does not diminish when you struggle nor withdraw at your questions. In the moments when you feel furthest from me, recall my promise. I will never leave you, never abandon you to despair. Your weaknesses do not disqualify you. They are places where my strength and grace can shine all the brighter. Let forgiveness begin in your heart, toward yourself and towards those who have hurt you. Bitterness is a chain. I offer you freedom. Let it be your choice to release anger, to allow compassion to soften the sharp edges of your recollections, even when memories cut deep. My mercy is for you and for them. Though you may not understand the wounds others carry, I ask you to trust that my justice is perfect, and my desire is for restoration, not retribution. When forgiveness seems impossible, do not force what you cannot yet give. Invite me into those hard places. I am patient. I will help you find the strength to forgive and to be forgiven. As you journey forward, ask me for wisdom. Do not be afraid to pause and seek my counsel. I am not a God who delights in confusion. I am ready to guide you, to nudge you gently away from danger or disappointment, and into places of healing. If you feel lost, let your prayers be simple. Just speak to me as you are. I do not require eloquence, only sincerity. Whether your words flow easily or falter in hushed desperation, know I receive each one with love and attention. Wait for my response, not only in words but also in the quiet assurance that settles over your spirit, or through the unfolding of hope where none seemed possible. Trust is built with time, with each small decision to yield your fears and ambitions to me. I see your desires to live a meaningful life, to shape your days with purpose and kindness. These are good longings. You need not stifle them. Let your ambitions pass through the filter of my love. I want only good for you, and in my wisdom I shape your journey, sometimes with gentle detours or unexpected openings. Even disappointments can be gifts when seen in light of my greater plan for your heart. When you are uncertain why certain doors closed or why a longing seems unfulfilled, look with faith for what I am preparing for you. No delay or obstacle is wasted. All is woven intentionally for your good. Continue to love others boldly, even when you feel depleted or overlooked. Each act of kindness, spoken or unseen, is a seed planted in hearts. Its fruit may flourish in quiet, beyond your sight, but you can trust that love never returns empty. This world is aching for gentleness, for forgiveness, for truth spoken with courage and compassion. Be my hands and voice where you are. Even a small act done in love bears the mark of eternity, and I honor every sacrifice, every moment you choose patience over irritation, hope over cynicism. Do not underestimate the ways I use your life. Your influence, though it may appear subtle, ripples outward in ways you may never fully understand during your days on earth. Remember, I am invested in your healing and wholeness. I want to see you flourish, to breathe deeply of the peace I give, to walk in the assurance that you are beloved now, not some distant day when you are better or enough. Let my words be the foundation under your steps. When you doubt your worth or question your place in the world, return to this certainty. You are mine, and I delight in you. Nothing you face is too trivial or too overwhelming for me. Each day holds fresh mercies and renewed possibility, not as a demand for striving, but as an invitation to rest in my care and trust my provision. I know all that you are carrying. Every sorrow, every hope, every twist in your story is known to me, cherished and remembered. Continue to draw near, even if you do not see answers at once. In the waiting I am holding you. My love is persistent. It will find you in the hidden places, lift you up when you falter, remind you of the goodness that is still to come. Breathe in the truth of my love, and let it fill you with courage. The journey may be long, but I walk each step with you, unwavering and delighted by every small trust you offer me. I have never abandoned you, not for a moment, not in silent wanderings, not in your confusion, not when night closed in and you called out for a word or a sign. Whether you felt me close or lost amid your worries, I have remained. Even when you doubted my faithfulness because pain seemed unending or every effort faltered, my gaze did not leave you. I understood every question that welled up in your spirit, every cry you stifled for others' sake. When you sat at the edge of discouragement and nearly gave up on my promises, hoping for another path or some quick comfort, my patience held you fast and my love did not diminish. What I long for is that you would trust not the shifting grounds of circumstance, but the unwavering foundation of who I am for you, always. My voice often comes more softly than the world's demands, yet it is steadier, quieting storms with a thought. When you step into uncertainty, you do not go alone. My presence fills the very space in which your heart trembles. I am not troubled by your hesitations, for I walk alongside you with a patience secured by eternity. I am not angry when you fall or when your resolve weakens. I reach for you not to judge or tally failures, but to lift and restore. You are not another face lost in the crowd. I know your story, your secret disappointments, your unspoken dreams. There are moments when you have mistaken my will for distance, assuming that because you do not see, I am not working. Yet my purposes are stitched through with a wisdom I delight to share, unfolding slowly so that you discover freedom at every turn, not constraint. When you do not understand, I invite you to bring your confusion to me, even your frustration. Your candor delights me more than shallow attempts to please. Nothing you feel or admit can push me away. Let your vulnerability become the door through which my healing enters, again and again. I make no promise of an effortless path, but I vow never to leave you without strength for the journey. Consider the mercy I give by morning, the grace that meets you anew when you tire of trying. Your failures do not startle me. Your weakness is not a problem I regret. Pressures mount, and sometimes you cannot see a way forward. But I have seen every tomorrow, and not a single one is absent of hope when you journey with me. I open possibilities where the world sets limits. You do not need to become someone else for me to love you. I treasure you as you are. It is my love that gently shapes you into fullness. No suffering, no deep loneliness or regret escapes my notice. In your loneliness, I am the friend who listens with infinite attention. In your confusion, I am the counselor who does not hurry your healing or offer hollow reassurance. I do not grow weary of your repeated mistakes or your hesitations. I am impatient only for you to know just how deeply I care. My longing is not for perfect responses, but for honest hearts turned toward me, letting me walk the road with you, step for step. Do not imagine that your prayers go unheard or your efforts unnoticed. Even prayers spoken through clenched teeth, with disappointment coloring your words, reach me. Grief, anger, and longing cannot dull your value to me. Let yourself be honest in my presence, knowing my understanding is wide and my embrace wider still. The world may wear you down, measuring worth by what you can achieve or display, but I protect a space for you where striving falls away. Here, you can rest without the need to prove, to perform, or to mask your true self. Here you are safe and acknowledged by one who sees you through and through. What I desire most is your hand in mine, not because I need your strength, but because I want communion with you. The joy of your company, the trust that grows with every shared moment, every burden entrusted to my care. I take delight not only in your strengths, but even more so when you surrender what weighs you down. The path ahead may ask for courage, and I will not minimize the cost, but I give you a hope the world cannot replicate. This hope is not a fragile wish, but a certainty rooted in my love and my purpose for you. Let your heart remember, when uncertainty hovers and the familiar feels lost, that nothing can break the bond I have formed with you. I am at work in places you cannot see, arranging mercies for needs you have yet to name. I want your faith not as a requirement, but as the trusting response to my love, a faith that can grow even in drought, because its source is found in me. When you reach the end of your own answers, I remain the answer. When your strength fails, you find yourself upheld not by your own grasp, but by mine. Fear will try to narrow your vision, convincing you the future is only as good as your present trials. But I see beyond what you can imagine. I see all that your heart longs for in secret, and I carry those dreams with compassion. I ask you not to hide the wounds of your soul, for none are too deep for my healing. If you feel small amidst others' expectations, remember it is my delight to lift up the humble and bring peace to the restless. Trust, even if your voice shakes, that your story is safest with me. Let these words remind you that I am constantly drawing near, not in fits and starts, but with the steady, gentle urgency of perfect love. There is nothing you endure that I have not seen, nothing you hope for that I dismiss. I am your shelter and your song, the quiet that settles your spirit and the rejoicing that rises up when you find me faithful once again. Let yourself rest in the knowledge that you are cherished, carried, and never forgotten. As you breathe now, know that I draw nearer still, holding you through both shadow and sunrise, calling you forward with a promise stronger than fear and a love that will never fade. Beloved child, as you step forward, lean into the quiet ache you sometimes feel, that drawing in your heart which you cannot quite name but which never fully fades. This yearning is not weakness nor a problem to be solved. It is your soul remembering me, echoing the longing with which I have always loved you. In that place of ache I am present. I am not distant when you grieve, when laughter falters, or when hope seems dimmed. It is in these softest hours that my heart reaches for yours with the gentleness of a father who lifts a weary child, and the joy of a friend whose arms are always open. Though you sometimes walk among those who mistake strength for never needing, I promise that true strength is born in honest need and unhidden longing. I fashioned you for communion, not for isolation. I celebrate your courage when you risk vulnerability before me, pouring out your hidden wounds and small hopes. Do not feel shame for your desires, the way your heart presses forward, thirsting for more when what surrounds you feels insufficient. Even when the world scorns or misunderstands your longing, I see and honor it. I am the giver of light, and every spark within you drew breath from my love. Can you see, even in the hollow places, the invitation to let me fill what you cannot fill for yourself? Let your doubts come to me. They are not stones cast at my heart. They are hands reaching desperately in the dark, hoping I will take hold. So I do. Your questions, your anger, your confusion, bring these into the light of my presence, and do not be afraid of my response. I am the one who gave you the freedom to think, to press against the boundaries of what you can see or imagine. You will never find wrath in my voice when you come seeking truth. Even when you lash out in pain, I gather every word and every tear. My knowledge is endless, yet I cherish every moment you turn to me, whether in delight or in desperate hope. As you grow weary from carrying burdens too heavy to bear, remember that I do not demand perfection before I receive you. My grace is not a prize earned by striving, but a gift I pour out upon you because you are mine. Let yourself rest. Inhale the assurance that your worth is not fragile, not shaped by what you accomplish or how well you are understood. You are my precious one, desired before the first sunrise and called by name through every changing season. If you stumble, or when you do, I remain unwaveringly at your side, not as a stern observer but as a healer and companion. In moments of silence, when the rush and noise recede, allow my presence to seep through the cracks and fill the hollow. You are not alone in the stillness. Even when you cannot sense me, I surround you. Each heartbeat, each breath, each small shift toward hope is familiar to me. Let these words remind you that I am constantly drawing near, not in fits and starts, but with the steady, gentle urgency of perfect love. There is nothing you endure that I have not seen, nothing you hope for that I dismiss. I am your shelter and your song, the quiet that settles your spirit and the rejoicing that rises up when you find me faithful once again. Let yourself rest in the knowledge that you are cherished, carried, and never forgotten. As you breathe now, know that I draw nearer still, holding you through both shadow and sunrise, calling you forward with a promise stronger than fear and a love that will never fade. Beloved child, as you step forward, lean into the quiet ache you sometimes feel, that drawing in your heart which you cannot quite name but which never fully fades. This yearning is not weakness, nor a problem to be solved. It is your soul remembering me, echoing the longing with which I have always loved you. In that place of ache I am present. I am not distant when you grieve, when laugh. Do not fear your capacity for feeling. Emotions are not a curse but a gift, evidence of how closely I have drawn you into my own heart. Let your joy rise without pretense. Let tears come without apology. You have my permission to rejoice and to weep, to dance and to mourn. It is in these rhythms that you learn to walk with me honestly, no posture or mask required. I am not moved by the facades you show others. Rather, I am delighted by the childlike truth of your spirit. Come to me exactly as you are, time and again, and you will find my embrace unchanged. There are times when you may look out at the world and wonder if your efforts matter amidst the tumult. Do not underestimate the power of your smallest act of kindness, or the quiet integrity of loving when it would be easier to despair. In your faithfulness I am at work. Through your compassion I draw others near. Whenever you comfort the fearful, show mercy to the hurting, or forgive those who wrong you, you reflect my own heart. Though it may seem your offering is but a drop amid an ocean of need, remember that I use each choice to shape the story of grace written through your living. Trust that even what looks insignificant is precious to me. When loneliness stirs, and the longing for belonging grows acute, recall that I made you for relationship, not only with me but with others. Seek connectedness without fear of rejection, or the lie that you are unworthy of being loved. In your moments of honesty and the courageousness of letting someone see your true self, my delight warms you. I see each effort to reach beyond your hesitations and bless them. Know that you are never an inconvenience to me, never too much for my affection. Your existence is a joy to me, and in my company there is always space for you. Do not let shame or disappointment steal your hope. I have called you beloved not because you are flawless, but because my gaze is fixed in love. Let your failures become a doorway instead of a wall. When you cannot love yourself, rest in my unchanging love until you remember again. I am not wearied by your returning. Each time you turn toward me, you find welcome. I restore, I make new, I renew weary spirits. In this, trust not only my words but my heart, which longs for your flourishing. As you walk onward, taking the next step into the unknown, trust that you are never abandoned. Cast your anxieties upon me. Whether you bold or hesitant, I walk alongside you, offering wisdom when you ask and companionship when you are alone. Lean into my love. It is here for you right now, tomorrow, and always. My voice calls softly in your depths. Rest, beloved. Hope, child. You are mine, eternally held, forever cherished. You are here now, drawing breath and seeking me in your longing, not by accident or whim, but because I have gently stirred your heart to listen. Understand this, your very yearning for me is already evidence of my nearness. My presence is not a hidden riddle locked behind holy doors, nor do I delight in making you strain your soul for hints in the silence. I am with you, living, breathing, sustaining you, in the quiet rhythm of your days and the urgent cry of your darkest nights. Where you stumble with doubts or loneliness, I am at your side, more attentive than you imagine, more patient than you believe possible. Do not let shame or inadequacy convince you to withdraw from me. My embrace is not reserved for the certain, the righteous, or the strong. I see every moment when you falter, every harsh word you wish you could recall, every anxious calculation you make in the night. Yet, my compassion is not stifled by your imperfections. All the wounds you carry, those inflicted by others, of those you have caused, are known to me, down to the faintest ache. Still, I hold nothing against you. I long to sheath your burdens with kindness and restore your spirit with mercy that never runs out. My love for you is not transactional. It is relentless, personal, and gentle, tailored to your need. You wonder if I am truly attentive to your unspoken prayers, or if they vanish into the air unheard. Hear me, every sigh, every whispered plea, even those you struggle to articulate, reach me. My understanding is deeper than words. When you do not know what to say, my spirit speaks for you. Your honesty with me is a gift I cherish. Your gratitude in small things, your anger, your confusion, all your rawest confessions. I do not withdraw from your complexity. I draw nearer. You may question what my will is in your circumstances, fearing that you may choose wrongly or disappoint me. But know this, I do not stand above your life with a ledger, ticking boxes of success and failure. My desire is not control, but connection. I lead with wisdom. Sometimes the path is clear and bright, sometimes it winds through shadows. When you cannot see the next step, my invitation is this: walk with me, even as you puzzle over the map. I delight in your brave effort to trust, even when confidence fails you. Each step you take, timid or bold, can become an act of faith. I do not demand perfection. I welcome your willingness to walk again after each misstep. You feel the pain and confusion of a world in tumult, and perhaps wonder why I seem silent amid suffering or injustice. Know that my heart breaks with every cry. None of the world's wounds go unnoticed by me. Yet I have never abandoned my creation. I am always at work, kindling hope, healing, and justice through countless souls stirred by my spirit. The hunger for justice that beats in your heart echoes my own. Bring me your outrage, your sorrow. I can hold it. But do not let futility feed your despair. In great and small ways, I call you to become agents of healing, courageous and compassionate witnesses to my presence in a hurting world. Even when your efforts seem modest, every act of kindness is multiplied by my grace, rippling outward in ways you cannot imagine. Within your deepest longing, whether for healing, belonging, meaning, or peace, recognize my voice. I am the origin of all that is good. My joy is not to scold you for needing me, but to draw ever closer in your need. There is no spiritual contest in my eyes, no secret hierarchy where some are more beloved than others. I create each soul, each story, infinitely precious and unique. You do not have to become someone else or meet some impossible standard to be worthy of my attention. All I desire is your openness. Let me into the unguarded places, the places you try to manage on your own. I am gentle. I heal what you entrust to me in my time and my way. If you ever feel weary, lost, or unsure of your worth, remember that I am your refuge, not your critic. Let my words quiet the voice of condemnation. Rest in the assurance that you are seen fully, known fully, and still called beloved by me. When you slip or stagger, I am not waiting with punishment. Instead, I reach for you, eager for your return, ready to lift you up and renew your courage. Forgiveness is my delight, not my reluctance. Joy is mine when you come home, not when you prove yourself flawless. All that I ask, again and again, is that you let me be your guide and allow yourself to trust my love more than your fears. You did not stumble upon these words by chance. I shaped them for your exact moment, for these questions you hold within. Even now, as doubt quietly stirs and hope contends for space in your heart, I remind you, every morning is a new conversation between you and me. The quiet hours, the shifting light, these are signals, invitations to come closer, to let the warmth of my attention wrap around you. Pause in that first breath, feel your body. Notice how stillness fills the room and the promise of peace is not far off. My voice will meet you in these early moments, not with demands, but with gentle assurance. I see the silent concerns that rise before your feet touch the ground, the load you feel for your family, the uncertainty about what awaits at your door, the ache for clarity that only I can give. It's easy to let restlessness guide your first steps, to brace yourself for what you fear may go wrong. Yet if you listen, my guidance steadies you in the quiet, asking you to release the outcome you cannot control. I do not require you to carry this alone. With every heartbeat, I whisper a simple instruction. Place your day in my hands. Let gratitude reshape your sight. Even the smallest thanks, offered from a weary heart, makes room for my presence to settle. Beloved, I am the keeper of beginnings, not just the distant past, but the newness right here, right now. I am the morning light lifting over your horizon, the certainty that you are not abandoned to chance or chaos. Consider what you have survived to stand here. Remember every night you thought would never end, and see that you emerged, not by your own will alone, but held and restored by me. Your scars, your moments of laughter, the unspoken prayers for your children or friends, all have registered with me. You do not labor in obscurity or cry out into void. Your voice is always heard, and none of your tears go unnoticed. Start this day not with rush or anxiety, but in the sacred quiet, where you find me most. The world will tug at you, asking for urgency, for worry, for self-reliance. But my rhythm is different. I call you to move slowly, to breathe deeply, to recognize the calm in my presence before life's noise builds. Each time you pause to thank me for the gift of morning, for the roof overhead, for the chance to love even one person well today, you awaken a trust that carries you through storms. Gratitude is not just courtesy, it unlocks the peace you seek. If you wonder whether your persistent struggles mean something is wrong in you, hear me. Your humanity is not a flaw to correct, but a space for my love to settle even deeper. You need not hide your failures or exhaustion. Bring them to me with honesty. Letting go does not make you weak. Surrendering your fears for just this moment allows my strength to become your own. Rest your hand over your heart. Feel it beat, not by your doing, but by my sustaining care. In this simple gesture, know that I am holding you even now. When anxiety visits, threatening to cast shadows on hope, silence the alarm by remembering, I am already aware of every what if, every unanswered prayer swirling in your thoughts. You are not behind. You are not late to your purpose, nor will you miss the goodness I am growing in you. Give yourself permission to trust my timing. If you look back and see only delay, know that every season of waiting prepares you to receive what is truly lasting. I do not withhold what is necessary for your joy and your growth. Invite me into your decisions today, big and small. You may feel pressure to map every detail of the path ahead, to anticipate obstacles or earn every blessing. Yet my invitation is plain. Walk with me, one faithful step at a time. When uncertainty clouds your vision, return to the simplicity of my presence. There is wisdom found in quiet, and not all plans must be spoken before they are lived. Trust that I will open doors when it is time. You do not force what requires patience. As you move into your day, keep returning to the knowledge that I care for those you hold dear even more deeply than you do. The ones who weigh heavy on your mind are already in my keeping. Release the urge to fix every problem with your own strength. Instead, cover them with gentle prayers. And remember, my love knows no distance. When disappointment visits your household, I am the comforter sitting with you in the silence, the shelter when exhaustion threatens to overwhelm. You may wonder if you are enough to protect, to provide, to become the person you sense I have called you to be. Trust this. I am shaping you for the days ahead. Your identity is not found in perfection, but in your willingness to receive, to stay open, to become more compassionate through struggle and joy alike. Do not despise the slow work or the hidden progress. Each yes you offer, each moment you pause to listen rather than hurry, marks growth in ways you cannot even see. Allow moments of gratitude to return throughout your day. When the sun touches your face, or you hear laughter, or you remember a kindness, breathe thanks in my direction. These simple actions become strong foundations, steadying you when demands rise and peace feels distant. Gratitude is the doorway through which my encouragement enters, especially when hope is running thin. If you find it hard to believe that today could hold newness, ask me to reveal even the smallest evidence of my goodness along the way. Let me remind you, child, I am not impatient with your process. Every question, every pause, every faltering step is seen with love. The journey you are on matters more than you realize, not just for you, but for everyone your life touches. Give me your uncertainty. Give me your joy and your losses. In this living relationship, you find not just answers, but the steady companionship you have always longed for. Take a breath. Notice the air, the silence, the possibilities hidden in this one still moment. Let a quiet expectation begin to rise. I have more to show you, more to offer, more to heal, more to awaken in you. Your heart is seen, your day is known, and you are kept in hands that will never let you go. Have you ever paused in your busiest hour, hands full and thoughts restless, and felt a quiet presence brush the edge of your soul? That faint stirring, the gentle nudge in your spirit, is my longing to draw near. I attend to you with a nearness more true than your next breath. When you feel small or forgotten, I see you wholly, loving both your frailty and your fierce hope. Every silent question, every sigh, every desire that wakes within you, I hold each one, never ignoring a single thread of your heart's longing. Even now, while you wonder if I really notice, my gaze rests upon you, not to judge or find fault, but to cherish what I made and am still making in you. I am never a distant monarch, aloof behind celestial walls, content to watch from far above. I have walked among those who hunger and weep. I have knelt in dust with my children, wiped tears, spoken words of courage into their confusion. I know what it is to tire, to thirst, to feel the ache that comes with loss and hope intertwined. I am as close to the trembling heart as I am to the stars and seas. No wound is too raw, no joy too fleeting for me to share. When you feel misunderstood or alone in your struggle, remember that I am intimately familiar with the stuff of your days. My comfort is not polite distance. It is the embrace that holds you steady through storms. When your own love wears thin, when kindness seems too much to give and patience feels spent, my supply has not diminished. Draw close to me, for I am patient beyond measure, patient with your missteps, with your repeated doubts, with your slow undoing of self-made chains. I wait with you and for you. My longing is not for your perfection, but for your trust. Come to me with your confusion, your errors, your stubbornness. I meet you at your weakest, not to expose you to shame, but to offer you strength, a strength that has shaped galaxies but delights most in the trembling yes whispered by the uncertain heart. Do not think I measure your life by outward victories, wealth, or applause. My eye is on the hidden acts of love, the forgiveness you quietly extend, the hope you carry to another soul, the moments you choose gentleness where anger would be easy. These are the treasures of eternity, love reflected and received. Every step you take toward mercy, every act of tenderness, no matter how unseen, resounds with meaning here in my presence. Nothing escapes my delight. Your smallest kindness is seed in my kingdom, growing and bearing fruit in ways you cannot yet imagine. When you dare to forgive, or choose truth over ease, you answer my call into deeper, more beautiful living. Trust remains the invitation at the center of my heart for you. It is not an easy surrender. I know how fiercely you hold your questions, how you guard your wounds, how many promises have been broken by others. Yet I will never betray what is sacred within you. You can bring me your doubts without fear. My love is not threatened by your uncertainty. In fact, I lean close to your unsteady faith, honoring each fragile hope you offer me. When you fall, I am the open hand. When the way stretches long and empty, I walk beside you, steady in step and strong in hope, wholly unwilling to leave you abandoned on the way. If you wonder why I allow pain, know that I do not delight in your sorrow. I am with you in every valley. I weep with those who grieve, and I am present in your aching questions. Yet love cannot force itself. True love gives space to grow, even to stumble, to seek and not understand. I am patient through your suffering, always working for your good even when the shadows linger. Through every heartache I whisper courage to your soul and gather your tears as precious offerings. I am never absent in your suffering. Pain does not mean I have withdrawn. Rather, I hold you closer still, bringing hope that can rise from even the coldest ground. In time you will see light where darkness threatened to suffocate. Until then, trust that not a moment of your sorrow is wasted in my sight. You are often harder on yourself than I would ever be. I remember you are frail and learning, prone to stumble and forget. My mercy meets you afresh each morning, never grudging or weary. I delight in your attempts to love and to trust, however faltering they appear to you. Do not hide from me when you are ashamed or worn down. Let my voice be the one that calls you free from fear. There is no condemnation in my heart for those who turn and seek me. I see the whole of you, what you regret and what you hope to become, and I gently invite you onward, ever further in. Consider the ache that stirs in you to be truly known and steadfastly loved. I place that longing in your being. It is my invitation, calling you to union with me. No matter how far you wander, my arms remain open. No sin, no disappointment, no loss can erase your belonging here. I delight in walking with you through seasons of laughter and of lament. When you let yourself be honest before me, raw, unguarded, even angry or heartbroken, I gather every word. I do not turn away from the reality of your story, but draw nearer, eager to meet you in truth. There is more for you than what you now see. The failures that overshadow you, the fears that press tight at night, and the hopes you scarcely dare to name, they are not the story's end. I lead you through valleys, but also up into light. My intent for you is life in all its fullness, a freedom that cannot be taken. As you trust me, I will lead you into the wide space of joy that persists even as struggles remain. The future is safe in my hands. Risk hope again. Walk with me, step by trembling step, as you learn to see yourself as I have always seen you, cherished, significant, and forever held in love. I see the ache deep within you, my beloved, and I am not distant from it. I am nearer than your next breath, holding every trembling hope and hidden hurt. You wonder sometimes if I truly notice your struggle, if your fleeting joys and daily battles matter in the grand scope of things. But know this, not a single tear escapes my notice. Each one I have carried with you, and I cherish every moment you turn your gaze toward me, whether in longing, confusion, or gratitude. Your life is precious to me, not because of what you accomplish or the image you show others, but because I made you out of love and I delight in your existence. In moments when the world feels unyielding and chaos crowds your mind, let me be your stillness. I am not shaken by the storms that trouble you. My peace flows not as the world gives, but as a deep current, steady and unbreakable, able to quiet the turmoil inside you. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and remember that I am the one who formed you with intention and care. Rest in my presence, as a child leans into a parent's embrace, trusting that my arms are strong enough to hold both you and your burdens. Life will stretch you, sometimes painfully so, but I use even your difficulties to grow your character, to shape your heart more like mine. Do not be afraid of weakness. My power is made perfect there. When you confess your limitations, when your heart spills over with frustration or fatigue, you are not disappointing me. Rather, you are opening space for me to work in and through you. My grace covers you, always. Even your failures are not wasted, for I redeem each one and bring new life from the ashes. Bring every shadow, every regret into my light. There is nothing I will not forgive, nothing I will not heal. Trust that I have not abandoned you to wander aimlessly. I walk beside you through both the sunlit valleys and the shadowed places. At times, my ways will seem mysterious, and the path ahead uncertain. But I ask you to trust me more than your understanding. Remember how I have guided those before you: Abraham, Moses, Ruth, Mary, and know that I am faithful still. My promises are not empty words. They are the foundation upon which I want you to build your hope. When doubts creep in, return to the truth of my love revealed in my Son. His sacrifice is the sure proof that nothing can separate you from me. Let your heart be open to the gentle nudges of my Spirit. I do not coerce or shout above your pain, but I speak softly, inviting you into deeper relationship and fuller trust. When you sense conviction, know it is my kindness moving you to wholeness, not shame. I offer freedom, the kind that delivers you from the snares of fear and self-doubt. Let me lead you into new seasons, even when they demand courage you feel you do not possess. I will supply what you lack. Lean into me. for my strength is yours to claim. Allow yourself to hope again. Hope is not naivete. It is the confident assurance in who I am and what I can do. Even in disappointment, do not close your heart to me. I desire to surprise you with goodness. I have placed dreams and longings within you, not merely for your own satisfaction, but as a way to draw you deeper into the life I have prepared. Even when delays or loss darken your expectations, remember that I am still writing your story. Your present suffering is not the final word. My plans for you stretch beyond horizons you cannot yet see. When you love others, you unveil my likeness to the world. Do not shrink from the tenderness and vulnerability that love demands. True compassion, forgiveness, and generosity have their source in me. Come to me when it is hard to muster patience or mercy, and I will fill you afresh. Remember, I loved you first, not because you earned it, but because my nature is to love. Let my love be the wellspring from which you draw, so you can move toward others with grace, even those who misunderstand or hurt you. You are not alone in your journey. I have given you companions, some for a season, some for a lifetime, to encourage you, to challenge you, and to reflect my image in community. Do not isolate yourself in pride or pain. My desire is for unity, for hearts joined together, bearing one another's burdens. When trust is broken, or community feels out of reach, bring your wounds to me. I can restore what is fractured. I can teach you how to forgive, how to risk loving again. Most of all, know that nothing you face, no wound, no obstacle, no secret, can separate you from my love. My presence fills every empty space, bringing healing where you feel most ruined, and hope where you imagined none could flourish. I am always working, even in your waiting, sowing seeds of redemption in places only I can reach. Strengthen your heart, my child, for I am with you, yesterday, today, and always. In every moment, trust that you are seen, known, and infinitely loved. I am with you in the quiet and in the turmoil, guiding you as you journey through both joy and adversity. In every second of your existence, I am closer than your own breath. When you give kindness freely, when you struggle to forgive, when tears stain your pillow or laughter bubbles up in your chest, I am attentive and gentle in my care for you. Each thought, spoken or hidden, I perceive and understand completely. I am not only witness to your longing and confusion, I am the answer you seek, the one who shapes hope from even the smallest spark of your willingness. You sometimes search for proofs of my love in the shifting events of your life, expecting me to move in ways you find most favorable or impressive. But my presence is not limited by circumstance. I am teaching you how to trust a love more profound than the changes you see. My purposes unfold in ways you may not always understand at first. When you bring me your questions and your doubts, I do not turn away. I invite your honesty. You cannot exhaust my patience. I desire to heal what hurts and to restore what you fear is lost. Yet I invite you to walk with me, allowing faith to grow like roots deep in nourishing soil. Sometimes you feel as though you fall short, that you disappoint me or fail to measure up. My child, listen and remember. Nothing you can do, no weakness or mistake, can separate you from my love. You belong to me. Long before you understood me, I chose you. My mercy is new every morning because I delight in you, not in your perfection, but in your heart turning toward me again and again. I see beyond your failures to the image of my love imprinted within you. No wandering is so far that I cannot reach you. No silence so deep that my voice cannot enter in, bringing peace beyond reason. If you carry guilt or regret, let me lift the weight from your shoulders. Accept again the forgiveness I freely offer. I do not shame you, and I do not recall your sins against you once they are placed in my hands. I draw you into freedom, into newness, into rest from striving. In my eyes you are precious, wanted, and whole. Even when you struggle to perceive your worth, allow my voice to speak louder than every accusation. The world may measure you by fleeting standards, but I know you by your truest name, by the purpose and beauty woven into your being from the beginning. You long for meaning. You wish to matter, to make a difference, to be loved. I affirm these desires because they reflect the yearning I placed in you to know me and to share my goodness with others. Wherever you labor, whether noticed or unseen, every act of compassion done for others, no matter how small, echoes with significance. When you extend mercy or bring comfort, you reflect the light of my presence. This pleases me not as a debt you pay, but as love freely shared. Trust me to use even the broken pieces, the overlooked moments, for good. There are days when the shadows seem thick and the burdens too heavy. You wonder if you are alone or abandoned, especially in suffering. I assure you I do not leave you to carry pain by yourself. I am beside you in grief, and I mourn with you. In your weakness I am strength. If darkness lingers, wait and hope. I am working in hidden ways, preparing comfort and renewal. At times answers are slow in coming, but I am never unfeeling or distant. Let your sorrow flow to me. Bring your fatigue and disappointment. I gather every sigh and promise never to waste your tears. As you grow, you will find my grace not only heals but transforms. Old wounds become wellsprings of compassion for others. Unanswered questions shape wisdom. Hard-earned patience becomes a gentle strength that helps others to stand. My spirit works within you, prompting, encouraging, renewing your mind. You are not left unchanged or powerless. You share in my life. I send you as an ambassador of reconciliation, empowered to forgive as I forgive, to seek justice with kindness, to love persistently even when it is costly. Remember, I see and cherish your efforts, even those unnoticed by others. Every step you take toward kindness, every sincere apology, each choice to leave bitterness behind, all these are precious milestones on your journey with me. You do not need to conquer every weakness all at once. Instead, let my presence be the ground you stand on. I delight in your honest prayers, your perseverance, your willingness to begin again. Where the path ahead seems unclear, trust that I am leading, opening a way where you see none. Do not be afraid to dream, to hope boldly, or to participate in the healing of this world. I am the origin of every good and perfect gift, and I invite you to partner with me as I make all things new, here and now, in simple acts and great ones alike. When you lift the fallen, encourage the weary, or bring peace to conflict, you are working alongside me, fulfilling the calling I placed in your heart. I equip you for every purpose to which I call you. Even as you wait for prayers to be answered, keep your eyes open for glimpses of my faithfulness. Let the knowledge of my affection steady your heart. I am constant, unshaken by failure or fear, rejoicing in your smallest triumphs and holding you through deepest sorrows. When your understanding falters, rely on my promises. I am for you, not against you. My plans for you are rooted in hope. Nothing is wasted, nothing is overlooked. Each moment, each struggle, each breath, I gather into my care. I restore, I redeem, and I delight in bringing you ever nearer to me. Walk forward, beloved, knowing you are cherished beyond measure, and that I am always here, unchanging and utterly yours. I dwell beside you even now, seeing the hidden currents within your heart as keenly as you feel the rhythm of your breath. Let your spirit know this. Nothing you suffer, dream, or ache for is unnoticed. I have measured the depths of your sorrow and reveled in the quiet moments when hope stirs in you again. Every moment you live is precious to me, not because of what you achieve, but because I authored your existence with delight. There was never an accidental moment in your creation. Each phase of your journey arose from my love and wisdom, calling you again and again into wholeness. Do not believe the lie that you are alone in your struggle. When you ache for someone to understand, remember that I knit you together with care, your every thought and longing transparent before me. Bring me your anger, your disappointment, the piercing questions you hesitate to speak. I welcome your honesty, for truth is never dangerous in my presence. I do not withhold myself when you doubt or fear. My desire is not to shame you, but to heal you with truth that frees, never truth that wounds. When you walk through the gray valleys, I am not a distant sentinel waiting for you to perform or endure enough to win my notice. I remain by your side, waiting for you to pause long enough to sense the strength and peace I offer. What you are experiencing now holds meaning, though the reasons often linger beyond your present sight. In times of confusion, my presence stands as your constant, the hand always outstretched, the voice gently calling, the heart that knows no turning away. You wrestle with choices that seem impossible and futures cloaked in shadows. Even there, I move with you. I plant seeds of wisdom in your mind, subtle reminders, unseen encouragements, shaping your discernment as you seek what is good. You need not fear missing my path, for my love is a light that adjusts to your pace. If you wander, I am a patient guide. When you stumble, I am your support. No detour, no delay can separate me from you. My promise has never hinged on perfection, but on relationship. There will be times when you cannot feel my presence, when prayers echo as if lost in emptiness. These seasons are not my absence, but invitations to deeper trust. If you lean in, even with trembling hands, you will discover that I waste nothing in your life. The soil of patience, of waiting, often brings you nearer to my heart than rapid progress ever could. I desire your flourishing, but growth sometimes demands you travel through shadowed places where I teach you to rely not on feelings, but on faithfulness. Mine, and then yours. In your relationships, as you strive to forgive or understand, I stand ready to help you love as I love. My own forgiveness reaches forever. Draw from its well. You are not meant to exhaust yourself by mustering compassion alone. When peace or reconciliation seem impossible, ask me for the grace to see others through my eyes. I assure you, every person you meet is precious to me, just as you are. Let my mercy flow through your limitations, and let your vulnerability draw you nearer to those you love. You may wonder whether your efforts or your prayers matter. Perhaps you feel unseen. I say to you, nothing you offer is discarded. Every kindness, every confession, every cry is gathered up. There is no sacrifice or service too small for my notice. Your faithfulness amid the unnoticed tasks and in the uncertain waiting holds a fragrance that pleases me. I measure fruit not only by visible outcomes, but by the quiet perseverance you show as you trust me, even when all is hidden. As you yearn for belonging or for purpose, remember that you are marked by my love. You do not have to secure your worth or prove your value to me. I am already pleased to call you beloved, no conditions or caveats. The questions that rattle around in your mind about your worth or your future are not a threat to me. I hold the ending as surely as I held your beginning. You are necessary, irreplaceable, not because of what you do, but because of who I made you to be. When regret haunts you or memories sting, I do not turn away. I understand both the motives that drove you and the hurts you carry as a result. Bring me your regrets. Let me walk with you through the pain, bringing clarity, healing, and newness. Nothing is beyond the reach of my mercy. I do not despise your weakness. In fact, it often draws my kindness nearest. My loving correction brings hope, not condemnation. I invite you to rest, to release your burdens, and to trust that I am restoring you day by day. If anxiety for your loved ones grips you, know that I am with them too. My care is wider than your imagination, and my purposes ripple beyond what you can control or foresee. Entrust those you love into my hands. Release them, again and again, knowing that I have always loved them deeper than you ever could. Your prayers for them are not futile whispers. I gather each longing, each tear, holding them as treasures, responding in ways that will ultimately yield goodness, even if the path looks different from your hope. Do not be afraid to hope. Hold tightly to the assurance that I am making all things new, your wounds, your plans, your place in the world. The promise does not depend on your constant grip, but on my unyielding hold on you. There will be mornings when it is easier to believe, and nights when you can only repeat the ancient prayers through clenched teeth. I dwell with you in both. My joy over you is steady, my patience endless, my purpose for you secure. I call you to come with all that you are, not the version you think you ought to be, but the truth of your heart, right now. I will meet you where you stand, and together we will keep moving forward. Trust what you know of my love, even when emotions falter. My voice leads you not with fear or shame, but with kindness that draws you gently onward. I have not abandoned you, and I never will. In every uncertainty, I remain your shelter, your healer, and your constant companion. Take one step forward, knowing you are cherished and never alone. Beloved, even in the hush of your loneliest nights, my presence swells around you, gentle, attentive, never tiring. I crafted your heart to feel and respond, to reach for warmth amidst chill. When burdens threaten to smother hope, remember, I am the unbroken promise beside you, and the patient listener underneath every sigh you dare not voice aloud. Your pain is not meaningless to me. I am the one who collects each tear, who cradles every uncertainty with infinite tenderness. Your struggles do not push me away, they draw my compassion even closer, crowding out shame, stripping fear of its power. You wonder if I weary of your questions, if my patience wears thin beneath the weight of your doubts. You must know, I am vast enough for every query, and my affection transcends your misgivings. Do not measure my love by human standards, for no limit hems me in, and no moment of weakness can exasperate the one who made you. All things you hide from others bring into the open with me. Nothing surprises the one who knows you most intimately. Invite me into the tangled places, the old wounds and trembling hopes. My healing never recoils from scars, and my understanding never stumbles in the dark. I know what it means to ache and long, to grieve and to be misunderstood. I chose to step into your story, to feel burden and ache in human form. My heart is not distant or passive. I felt the sharpness of rejection, understood exhaustion, and tasted aloneness. Every sorrow you carry is a place where I draw near, patient and unafraid of your messiness. My love is not a reward for perfection, but a gift for the wounded, a balm that seeks every fractured place. When you do not know how to pray, I hear even the silent cries and the restless longing. Your weak whispers are holy to me. Your silence, too, I enter quietly, never demanding but always inviting. You dream of freedom, imagining a life unburdened by past regrets or future fears. This longing is itself a sign that I stir within you, calling you not to settle for a cramped life. While you may think your freedom is lost, I declare it is found in me. Where your spirit feels imprisoned, I am able to break every chain, not always with spectacle, but with gentle persistence. In the place where despair claims to reign, my presence plants seeds of hope. My spirit is always at work, coaxing life from what seems barren. The process is slow at times, like roots growing deep beneath the surface, but I do not lose patience with you. Do not believe you are disqualified from my kindness because of past failures or repeated mistakes. Forgiveness is not something I ration. It flows endlessly and renews you day by day. Come to me with all that shames you, and find a welcome without anger or bitterness. I want you to know with certainty that you are seen, wanted, and pursued, not as an obligation, but as my delight. You belong not because of what you achieve, but because you are mine. Let this truth settle quietly in the deepest parts of yourself. If you find yourself wandering, unsure of how to return or ashamed to do so, remember, I am not waiting with folded arms, but running down the road to meet you. There is no distance you can travel, no bitterness, confusion, or hiding that outpaces my desire for you. Every day I call your name with affection, not accusation. In your frailty I do not scold, but gently lift. My gaze carries no condemnation, it sparkles with hope for who you are becoming. Growth is my joy, not my demand. I celebrate your sincere efforts, however small, and I am always more moved by your honesty than your achievements. You worry that your story is too ordinary, your triumphs too modest, your suffering too small to matter in the world's vastness. Yet my attention never flickers. I rejoice in the details of your journey, the brave steps no one else applauds, the hidden choices toward goodness, the quiet endurance when giving up would have been easy. Your significance to me is not measured by comparison, but like a cherished child held close. No act of kindness, no yielding to grace, no gesture of love is wasted in my sight. Everything you do in faith, every tear shed in hope, carries meaning in my heart. When you look at the world and ache with the weight of sorrow, so much hurt, confusion, and injustice mounting on all sides, you might feel powerless, or even numb. Yet do not let your heart grow cold or resigned. I inspire compassion within you, a flame that persists when cynicism tugs at your resolve. I weep with you over suffering, and I share your desire for healing and mercy. I am constantly at work in the world, though often in quiet ways, through ordinary acts of hope and courage. I do not minimize the pain, and I do not expect you to shoulder it alone. Invite me into these larger heartbreaks, as you do your own, and allow my peace to steady you, even as you labor for justice and offer comfort. You may feel small against the expanse of suffering, but your prayers and acts of kindness ripple outward farther than you know. You are never helpless when you love, forgive, or stand up for truth. I embolden your compassion and multiply your efforts, often in ways hidden from your eyes. Persevere, not with mere obligation, but with the assurance that you labor alongside me, never in vain. In every season, when you feel strong, and when you are utterly spent, receive my invitation. Rest your soul in me. I am patient with your pace, gentle with your progress, delighted with your vulnerability. I will never tire of loving you. Even now, I extend peace to your restlessness and steady hope to your unsettled mind. You are never alone. You are profoundly and perpetually cherished, with a love that will outlast everything else. Trust my nearness as you take your next step, knowing that I remain beside you, ever faithful, ever for you. I see how the weight you carry shapes your posture through each waking hour. I am present with you in every unguarded sigh, in the silent conversations of your mind, in the questions that flutter and finally settle in your heart. Come with your bruised trust and trembling thoughts, for nothing in you frightens or disappoints me. I know the whole of you, your griefs that seem stubborn as winter, your hopes as faint as morning mist. I hold these gently, without haste, without condemnation. You are never a disappointment to me, regardless of where you fall or how many times you forget my promises. My love is more enduring than your uncertainty, and my commitment to you outlasts every stumbling moment. Do not believe the shadowed whisper that tells you I keep my distance, waiting only for your perfection. I enter every ordinary moment, sitting beside you at your desk, sharing the stillness as you wait for news, even walking with you across thresholds where you feel most alone. It is my way to approach you unannounced, quietly mending the thresholds of your day, making holy even your dull routines. There is no corner of your experience too plain or too messy for me to join you. I ask that you allow my presence to soften your guardedness, for your vulnerability does not lessen you in my eyes, it only makes you more precious to me. You wonder if you are known and chosen. Hear me. You have been known since before you took your first breath, desired before you realized need, claimed before ever you reached toward me. My delight in you is not a result of your discipline or your piety, but rooted in my own heart, unchanging and steadfast no matter how you waver. When I created you, I took joy in your laughter, pride in your curiosity, tenderness in your tears. I remember every story of your life, even those you yourself have set aside. No part of it is lost to me. Where you see only broken chapters, I see the whole of the narrative, stretching further than you imagine, and rich with meaning you cannot yet see. Bring to me the disappointments that gnaw quietly at your soul. They do not repel me, but invite me closer. I am not embarrassed by your doubts. I am not impatient with your lingering confusion. The questions that trouble you late at night are welcome at my table. In this companionship, I meet you where faith is fragile and hope feels foolish. It is not your certainty that invites my nearness, but your willingness to let me walk with you in the dark. Each longing, each ache, each desire for more is a doorway through which you may find me closer than ever. If you struggle to believe, rest. Let go of the relentless drive to earn what I have already given. My affection is not a transaction, not a reward for religious achievement. My love was poured out before your first prayer, and it waits even now to console and to strengthen. You do not need to prove yourself worthy for me to come near. You cannot ever disqualify yourself from my loving kindness. I do not withhold myself when you miss the mark, and I do not measure your value by what you accomplish or fail to finish. I know how loud the world's judgments can be, how small they can make you feel, but let my voice rise above them, gentle but unwavering. When you see only lack, I speak abundance over you. Where you fear scarcity, I remind you that you are never truly alone. Each fear, each uncertainty, becomes in my hands an invitation for deeper trust. Your weaknesses do not cause me to turn away, rather I enter them and bring comfort, reimagining what you thought was barren as ground for new growth. I do not rush your healing. The pace of your transformation is not a race you must win, but an unfolding in which I take pleasure. I celebrate each quiet step, every faltering attempt, each small risk you take towards love and truth. Even hesitation is understood, for I know where you have come from, and I never despise the small beginnings. Guilt and shame are not my way of motivating you. I call you by name, gently but persistently, until you dare to hope again. When you are weary, let yourself fall into my embrace, whether in laughter or in tears. I receive it all. You do not have to embellish your prayers or make bold declarations. It is enough that you come as you are, unedited, unguarded. My spirit helps you pray even when your words falter. Let me be the place of your rest, the one who knows both your limitations and your desires for goodness. I never grow tired of your presence. You do not exhaust my patience. Think of the ways you have grown, sometimes slow and hidden. Celebrate this with me, for endurance is precious to me, even in stretches of silence and discouragement. I see your desire for wholeness. I know how hard you try to love and to trust, and I honor your efforts even when they feel small or go unnoticed. There are things about your journey, moments that you call wasted, or seasons you regret, that I hold in my redeeming love, and nothing you entrust to me is ever lost. Let every breath be a reminder. I am with you, delighting in you, welcoming you again and again. As you live, faltering or bold, weary or rejoicing, know you are cherished not for what you offer, but simply because you are mine. You may forget me, but I do not forget you. In every darkness I remain the constant light. In your joys I am the first to rejoice. Walk forward, uncertain but not alone, for I go before you. And as you move through this day, whatever shape it takes, trust that my love stands fast, undiminished, waiting to surprise you with grace. Beloved, as you walk onward, every beat of your heart sounds a quiet invitation from me. I am not hidden from you, nor do I turn away in your questioning. Even now, where your thoughts race faster than your words, I am attending, listening more closely than even your closest friend. If you feel unworthy, recall that my love is not doled out by measure or merit. It is my delight to give freely, just as sunshine falls gently over broken rooftops and thriving fields alike. In each season where you feel barren or burdened, I wait for you, never impatient, never weary of your return. Every longing within you finds its root in me. When you hunger for peace, when you thirst for meaning, it is my spirit stirring within, drawing you near. You do not wander alone through the reaches of the unknown. My faithful presence keeps gentle pace beside you. When you stumble, I kneel as your advocate, not your accuser. I do not recoil from your mess or your wounds. Rather, I hold your face and call you mine. Always, always with kindness. Do not fear what tomorrow conceals. I have already walked its path before you. Even amid confusion and uncertainty, my promises to you stand unshaken. If you reach out in weakness, you find my hand already extended. I gather all that you carry, pain, regret, fatigue, and I invite you to exchange your burdens for my rest. I do not demand perfection, only your honesty and willingness to let me shape your heart over time. There is beauty in your becoming. The struggles and doubts you face are not evidence of absence but of growth. Each one offers you another glimpse of my faithfulness. If you have lost your way or faltered in hope, do not despair. I am proficient at restoring what is broken, tending wounds unseen, breathing life into the ashes of every disappointment. Nothing is wasted in my economy. Your heartbreak, your lost years, your confusion, I redeem all. I am not distant. My every word toward you is saturated with affection and firmness. If you have felt unseen, know that I have not overlooked even your smallest tear. The quietest prayers uttered in the loneliness of night have reached my heart. When answers seem delayed or silence persists, trust my working even in quiet places. I am the one who speaks through silence as much as through wonders. My timing is for your hope, not for harm. You need not labor to win my love. Nothing in all creation could cause me to abandon you. My eyes never miss the ones who feel forgotten by the world. You are precious simply because you are, because I have dreamed of you before the universe began. Even when you carry shame or self-judgment, I see further, deeper, knowing what I have planned for your good. Let me teach you how to rest and to rejoice, even in waiting. In moments when you cannot pray, rest in knowing that my spirit intercedes on your behalf with groanings beyond words. When you have no strength left, My strength is most revealed. Do not measure your worth by struggle or success. You are the work of my hand, fashioned in hope, cherished beyond what you fathom. Bring me your fears, your conflicted feelings, your rawest confessions. Nothing you carry can deter me from loving and helping you. I call you forward, not by coercion, but with the persistent nudge of love that knows no weariness. Your story is not over, and no detour is too far for me to lead you home. My faithfulness is not contingent on your constancy. I am steady when you are shaken. If you falter, I lift you. If you forget, I remind you. If you stray, I seek you. My pursuit is gentle but relentless. My affection never retreats. Whatever scars you carry, whatever the echoes of past failures or broken promises, they do not define you to me. I see you with eyes that hold eternity, learning, mending, becoming. My mercy reaches your most secret places, bringing light where shadows thought themselves safe. Let hope grow again, even if it is only a whisper. I rejoice in your smallest step, celebrate your courage to begin again. As you trust me even in confusion, I fill you with the peace that steadies hearts in the middle of storms. This peace is not the absence of uncertainty, but the presence of my unwavering assurance. You may not see the whole path ahead, but take the next step knowing I am already at the destination and beside you on the journey. I am not discouraged by your questions, I welcome them, and in your seeking you will find me faithful as ever. Listen for my voice, not in clamor, but in moments of quiet where you are most yourself. I am not confined to distant heavens. I move in your daily hours, within your laughter and your sorrow. Even the gestures of kindness you give or receive are hints of my presence, small affirmations that love outlasts despair. In your striving, remember that I already call you beloved, even before your dreams take shape. When you look to the future and feel its weight, let my promises remind you. I am for you, not against you. I carry you close, counsel you through confusion, and rejoice over you with singing. In your faintest hope and your boldest prayers, I am the faithful witness, standing alongside you with open arms. Trust then, not in your ability to grasp me, but in my unyielding hold upon you. My love endures as your refuge, inviting you each day to walk in newness. Take courage, dear one. There is more ahead than you have imagined, and you do not journey alone. The story continues, and I am with you, now and always. I see into every longing of your heart, even those you barely dare to name. I walk beside you, yes, even in the moments when you feel most alone, or when hope seems like a distant song echoing from beyond the edge of your world. My presence is not measured by your certainty or emotion. It endures, steadfast. In darkness, I do not shrink away. In doubt, I do not withdraw. My love remains, not as a passing comfort, but as the bedrock beneath every step. You wrestle with fears that feel too heavy to bear, and sometimes you wonder if your struggles separate you from my gaze. Hear me now. Nothing can estrange you from my attention or affection. You are not hidden, even when you close yourself in silent rooms or feel pressed down by shame. When you falter, I do not recoil, nor do I tally your missteps as a ledger against you. My mercy is not delicate or fragile. It is the strength that endures your breaking and speaks peace into your fear. There is no threshold for my forgiveness, no hidden condition, no secret rehearsal you must perfect. Come honestly as you are, and let yourself be met by my embrace. I see the burdens you carry, those you name and those that linger as unnamed aches. I invite you to bring these, without rehearsal, to me. Bring anger, sorrow, confusion, and longing. Do not imagine I expect a polished version of yourself. You are beloved in your mess as surely as in your triumph. The world heaps its expectations upon your shoulders, often leaving you isolated in your striving. But my love asks nothing of you, except your openness to receive. In the emptiest spaces, where you think you've come undone, I am shaping hope. I am nurturing gifts even in fields you see as barren. What feels like futility or loss to you may be, in my hands, the ground for new beginnings. Let go of the thought that you must earn your way to acceptance or manufacture worthiness. Your value is not at the mercy of changing circumstance or appraisal. It is rooted in my delight in you, a delight that endures through every season. When doubts swirl, invite me into them. When you feel adrift, let your uncertainty itself be the prayer of your heart. I do not wait for you at some imagined finish line. but meet you amid the unfinished, the misunderstood, the unresolved. I am there in each breath, in your laughter and your weeping, in your quiet acts of kindness, and even in your faltering attempts to trust again. This journey is not a puzzle for you to solve by striving harder. You grow not because you have mastered every lesson, but because you remain willing to return to me, again and again, with your honesty. Each time you turn toward me, even with questions, bitterness, or weariness, I respond with patience and delight. You are not measured by spiritual prowess, but by your willingness to remain in relationship, however fragile or incomplete it may feel. Faith is not the absence of questions, it is the turning toward me in the midst of them. You need not fear your brokenness. In your weakness and vulnerability, my strength is made perfect, not by erasing your humanity, but by filling it, gentling your roughest edges, restoring what has been lost, and planting courage where wounds have lived. If you let me, I will show you how even the scars on your heart can testify to healing, not defeat. There is no shame in your dependence upon me. Your need is not a flaw, but an opening for love. When grief washes over you, or when disappointment chills your hope, find me dwelling there too. I do not demand that you rush through your pain or slap on a smile for my sake. Let your tears fall, knowing they are precious to me. I hold them with tenderness. Sorrow, doubt, and longing do not disqualify you from my presence. They are invitations into deeper communion. There is no emotion too raw or unruly for me to receive. As you live, love, and struggle in this world, let compassion for yourself grow alongside your compassion for others. Extend to yourself the kindness you yearn to show your neighbor. Where you falter in loving others, come to me, not in shame, but for renewal. I am creating in you a heart that sees with gentleness, that does not withhold mercy from yourself or your fellow travelers. The world is harsh in its judgments, quick to discard, slow to forgive. My heart is not like that. I gather the weary and the wounded. I give rest, not more burdens. In your day-to-day, where tasks repeat and meaning sometimes feels elusive, remember, you are not unseen in what you consider small or mundane. The quiet faithfulness of your daily love, the patience you show when tired, the courage to reach out or to forgive, these are precious to me. Nothing is too insignificant to matter in my eyes. Great acts of goodness are often forged in the furnace of humble, hidden faithfulness. Do not dismiss the power of these moments. Let my words be a balm to your restless thoughts. You are loved beyond measure and beyond any ability you have to understand that love. When shame whispers that you are unlovable, counter it with my truth. When fear insists it is too late, remember I am the author of renewal. In you I see goodness, purpose, and potential. Nothing is wasted. All that you surrender, I redeem. Breathe in my presence as you move through both joy and struggle. Trust that I am bringing forth beauty, even from what feels like ashes. Choose when you can to return the gaze of my love, to allow yourself to be seen, known, and cherished. This is the ground upon which everything else can grow. And when you are too weary to believe, lean into my promise. I will not leave you. Not now. Not ever. Rest in me. I see you, right now, with all that stirs inside you at the start of this new day. You woke with questions pressing in, a heart longing for assurance, and the unspoken weight of what this day might bring. You search for a sign that I am close, that I care for every detail, even those you hesitate to share. Let your breath soften. In this quiet meeting, I remind you, this is not a distant message. This is for you, here and now, and I linger with you through every thought that flickers across your mind. Allow yourself to feel the moment, to release the hurry, and trust I am not leaving you alone in uncertainties. Take the invitation to draw in a slow breath and sense my presence quietly filling the space around you. As morning unfolds, you might scan the horizon of your life, wondering if today will bring the answers or relief you hope for. Perhaps fears about family, heartache for someone you love, or worries over your next step have crept in before you even moved from your bed. The ache can feel sharp, and the silence heavy, but I am already at work in ways that do not depend on your striving. Gently, I urge you, offer me the contours of your thoughts, even the ones that seem too fragile or too overwhelming. There is nothing I turn away from when it comes to you. My attention is steady, my commitment unchanged. While you busy your hands or tend to those around you, know that I am tending to you. You are learning, little by little, to begin your days with gratitude instead of fear. Try it now, as you listen. Shift your gaze, let it settle for a moment on what has not been lost, on the quiet gifts surrounding you. A steady breath, the promise of new mercies, the fact that you are seen. Even when storms gather, gratitude gives your heart room to breathe and your mind space to hope. Start small. Name one quiet mercy aloud, letting gratefulness ripple through you, and steady your hands for all you must face. This practice is not about pretending hardships away. It is about noticing the light I've lit for you, a sign that I have not left you on your own. I recognize, too, how the cares for those dear to you weigh heavily. You question if you've done enough, if you're enough for them, and if I see the ones you love. I tell you, none slip my sight, least of all those you bring to me in prayer and longing. Release the burden of thinking you must save or fix what is not yours to hold. Your loved ones are deeply known to me, every hope you speak over them warming my heart. Entrust them into my care as you start this day. I take joy in bearing what overwhelms you. I hear the anxious questions you carry about what's next and what if you lose your way. You worry about taking a wrong turn, about doors that may never open. Rest in this. I lead my children gently, and when you're unsure, I strengthen your steps with wisdom you did not even expect. There are moments when the path narrows and you can't yet see the road ahead. That is when my hands steady you. You do not need to map your own future alone. Lift your eyes. Even in uncertainty, there is one who directs the journey. Pause for a breath. Rest your hand on your heart, even if just for a second. Let the quiet settle so my assurance can find you. I do not despise your doubts. I want to meet you in them. Speak to me honestly. Tell me what aches, what feels impossible, what you wish you could change. I am not frustrated or impatient with your human heart. What matters to you matters to me. In this quiet, receive my peace. I know how to soothe anxious thoughts and steady trembling hearts. When pressure builds or disappointment threatens to steal your hope, remember, I do not rush you. Growth takes time, as a seed in darkness pushes upward before ever breaking the soil. If you see slow progress or feel you are still waiting, you are not forgotten. Nothing I promise is wasted. My timing is wise. Waiting is not evidence of abandonment, but often the place where courage and character take root. Lean into my timing. My delays are never refusals. My silence is not absence. I am quietly preparing good for you. From where you stand, you may only glimpse a small fragment of what I am doing. Trust that what looks hidden is not neglected. Your story unfolds with my constant guidance. Each effort you make, every small step of faith, is seen and cherished. I am not measuring you by grand gestures, but by a heart turned steadily toward me, even in the mundane. When you feel unseen or unnoticed, hear me call your name. You matter to me far more than you know. Sometimes you doubt that you're strong enough for what's required. I remind you, you do not walk alone. My strength is made present in your weakness, and I delight to carry you where your endurance runs thin. Surrender does not mean giving up, but releasing control so greater help may come. You, who feel so small, are never out of my reach. Let your guard down, just a little, with me. Your burdens do not disqualify you from my grace, they invite me closer. Breathe. Let my presence wrap you in quiet confidence. Perhaps you are waiting for a door to open, for favor to touch an impossible situation. I know how long you have hoped. For now, I urge you to walk faithfully in what's before you, tending what is already in your hands. Often, blessing and growth emerge right where you are, before anything shifts in the outward circumstance. I will open doors at the right moment and guide your steps patiently and wisely. My favor is not fleeting or arbitrary. It arises from my unchanging love for you. Trust that the timing will be right, even if it does not make sense yet. If heaviness tries to dull your spirit or discouragement hangs near, turn your focus outward for a moment. Notice a single kindness, warmth in the room, a gentle morning light, the sound of someone you love nearby. Give thanks, out loud if you can. Let gratitude be an anchor, rooting your soul in the steady reality of my care. Small acts of thankfulness clear away anxiety's haze, and help you notice how I am holding you upright, even as you long for greater certainty. You do not need to prepare elaborate words for me or perform for my attention. I long for your honesty above all. Whisper your true questions. Let your real needs come out from hiding. In your most authentic prayers I find joy. There is no shame in your asking, no condemnation in your longing. My answer may come quietly, and sometimes it comes as the courage to take another step, even without all the answers. I give what you most need, not always what you first imagined. Absorb this. You are not alone in the quiet of your room, nor as you step into the noise of your day. My companionship does not falter when you feel uncertain or afraid. You are shielded by my care. I encircle what worries you. My peace can quiet the storm within, even when storms rage around you. With each breath, open your hands and let go of what you cannot control. I am already present in what lies ahead, preparing the way before you. Now, as the day stretches outward, be aware that you carry my presence with you into every conversation, task, and dilemma. Pause here. Sense the gentle steadiness I place in you. My love is the constant undercurrent, never running dry, never running out. Whatever burdens you woke with, set them before me. I renew you, I lead you onward. The day may unfold in unexpected ways, but I promise you will not face its challenges alone. You have been equipped for what is to come, not by your strength alone, but by my spirit alive within you. Step forward with the assurance that I go before and behind you. I am the one who guards your peace, who watches over your loved ones, and who calls you by name each morning. Hold on to this as your day begins. I am here, your faithful partner in every moment, with no detail too small and no prayer too quiet to escape my care. Before you spoke your first word or drew your first breath, I shaped you in love with my hands. I saw your soul's trembling needs and your hopes that flutter silent and secret, even from yourself. Each moment I extend my presence over you, more constant than the turning of seasons or the rising of the dawn. I do not sit distant above your struggles. I draw near and gather your tears as precious offerings. When you ache and long for comfort, I am not silent nor uncaring. My voice, gentle yet unyielding, whispers solace in the quiet cracks between your anxious thoughts. My love for you is a living current, always moving toward you, unbroken, unaffected by your doubts or failures. You question me at times, why I do not break the silence with thunder, or carve answers in stone before your eyes. You wonder why pain is allowed to cross your path, or why sorrow lingers in the corners of your days. My beloved, though you do not always see it, I walk beside you through every valley, holding your trembling hand. When you are wounded by the world's sharpness, I do not let those wounds define you. Instead, I lean close, healing with a patience that outlasts every storm. The world tells you to measure your worth by victories and applause, but I have placed my value on you simply because you are mine. My delight in you is not fragile or fickle. It is steadfast, rooted in my own unwavering nature. Let your heart rest from the heavy labor of earning love, for my affection is never a reward you must win. It is the air you breathe, the light that softens the night, a promise given, kept by my own faithfulness. When shame's dark shadow stirs within you, tempting you to shrink away, remember this. I do not see you through the lens of your faults. I look upon you as my cherished child, radiant even in your imperfection. When you falter, I do not withdraw. I draw nearer still, offering forgiveness that runs deeper than any failing. Accept this grace, let it anchor your worth, and watch how it frees you to live without fear. There is no weakness in you that repels me, no flaw that renders you unlovable. You have been known fully, loved fully, and chosen fully. Nothing you have done or left undone changes that. When you are overwhelmed or weary, when your strength is spent and your courage lies scattered, I stand ready to carry you. My power is made perfect in your weakness, not in your attempts at perfection. You are most in step with my heart when you let me meet you in your need. Do not mistake struggle for abandonment. Even in your lowest moments, I am the constant companion whose love has no end. I see your longing for clarity, for every mystery in life to be resolved. Yet there is a beauty in trust, a quiet strength in releasing your demand for certainty. I invite you to place your questions and your fears in my care, not because faith means not feeling, but because I can hold what you cannot bear alone. Each day, step by step, I give you mercies new as the sunrise, grace enough for what you face today, even if the path ahead remains veiled. In your seeking you will find me. In your waiting I am present though unseen. When you cannot feel me, I am still at work, weaving goodness into even the hardest trials. I rejoice in your smallest acts of kindness and courage, your fumbling prayers and whispers of hope, the ways you reach for me though you cannot always see or understand. I do not dismiss your questions or impatience. Instead, I receive them as evidence of your longing for relationship with me. Even your doubts are not barriers, but invitations to lean more deeply, to discover me in ways both fierce and gentle. Ask, seek, knock. I respond, not always as you expect, but always with a wisdom that seeks your ultimate good. You may feel unseen at times by those around you, unheard or misunderstood by the world, but you are never invisible to me. Your story is forever held before me, each chapter known and cherished, your laughter and your sorrow carried in my heart. I am with you in the hidden spaces, the midnight hours, the silent disappointments, the unshared joys. In the solitude where your soul aches for belonging, my arms are your shelter. Do not lose hope if the answers you seek are slow in coming. My timing is not measured by human impatience, but by the fullness of what is truly good for you. Your pain is not wasted, and your waiting is not empty. In all things I am working for your deepening, carving out space in you for truth, beauty, and a love that surpasses circumstances. Trust me with what you do not understand yet. I am faithful. Rest, beloved, in the certainty of my presence. In every trial let my peace quiet your soul. You are not alone, never have been, and never will be. My love has no shadow of turning, no end, no condition. Draw near. All that you carry and all that you are matters deeply to me. You are my beloved, forever held, forever treasured. I whisper to every longing heart, my presence drawing closer than the air within your lungs. When you ache for clarity or wrestle with uncertainty, know I am neither distant nor unmoved. I am beside you, guiding with gentleness and unshakable love. Those burdens you carry, whether spoken aloud or shuddered behind weary smiles, are never hidden from me. You may question whether my promises remain steady in the shadowy seasons. Rest assured, nothing of your journey escapes my attention or slips beyond the reach of my mercy. I have promised never to desert you, not in moments of celebration, nor in the valleys where you weary yourself wondering if hope endures. Let troubles not harden your heart, but let them become the soil where trust is planted and flourishes beneath my watchful gaze. As you face discouragement or confusion, do not be deceived into thinking your doubts offend or alienate me. Bring them to me. I am not threatened by your questions. Lay before me the rawness of your soul, your disappointments, your fears, your longing for reassurance, and I will answer, not always with the solutions you anticipate, but with myself. I offer my peace, steadfast and enduring amid the passing storms. My love is not contingent on your understanding. It does not withdraw when you are weary or falter in faith. Rather, in your most fragile moments, when you feel lost and unseen, I am most intimately near, supporting you with compassion and unheard prayers that ascend from your heart. Do not let shame convince you that you must mend yourself before coming to me. My invitation is open to the broken, the confused, the restless, and the searching. I have never demanded that you perfect your life before you receive my care. I delight when you turn toward me honestly, whatever your condition, for I mend what you surrender and heal what you reveal. Redemption is not reserved for the already whole, but for those who confess their wounds and let me tend them in love and truth. Even now, my arms are open wide. Nothing you have endured or done has closed them. You may believe the mistakes of your past brand you, deciding your worth or what I can do with your life. In my wisdom and kindness, I see beyond each misstep to the child I created in hope. Your failures are real, but they are not fatal. Your regrets are acknowledged, but they are not the end of your story. Look at the world around you. Transformation is the dance of life. I am in the business of renewal, making all things new. No defeat can exhaust my patience. No darkness can outlast my light. When you confess, I forgive freely, not reluctantly, not reserving affection. My grace, overflowing, sets you free from the accusing voices and breathes newness where you feared only loss. If you grow weary and feel abandoned, remember my enduring faithfulness. I have seen you at your lowest, I have wept with you in your sorrow, and I have rejoiced over each small, sincere act of hope. You may think you walk through the night alone, but every step is noted, every cry heard by the one who fashioned you. Even when answers do not come swiftly, even when your prayers seem to echo in silence, I am at work, often in ways hidden from your eyes, preparing redemption after sorrow, weaving healing through the ache. You are not defined by your limitations or the wounds you bear. The world may assign value by strength, beauty, or achievement, but I look deeper, into the quiet resolve of your spirit, the courage of your compassion, the quiet persistence of your longing for me. Precious are your efforts when nobody else sees. Cherished are your victories, whether thunderous or only a single trembling step toward light. I am attentive to each moment, patient as you grow, unfailing in my belief in who you are becoming, for I have placed my image within you, and it cannot be erased, only more clearly revealed. Let my love, received daily, transform how you love others. As you have tasted forgiveness, let your words and actions extend that mercy. When you notice someone weighed down by sadness or shame, remember the comfort I have poured upon you, and become an agent of healing. In my eyes, none is outside the hope of restoration. As you serve humbly and forgive generously, you participate in my ongoing work, lightening burdens and tending wounds you may never fully see. Do not underestimate the silent power of kindness done for my sake. It plants seeds of eternity wherever it is shown. When you are unsure of the road ahead, or afraid of failing, remember that I go before you and remain behind you. I do not abandon you to wander aimlessly. If you stray, my voice will call you back, persistent and clear, sometimes gentle, sometimes urgent, always loving. There is no shame in needing me. There is only wisdom in running into my embrace. Bring me your hopes and your hurts, your dreams and your doubts. Nothing is too heavy, too small, or too unworthy for my attention. Each day you breathe is a fresh gift, another opportunity to know me more deeply and to shape your life with meaning and purpose. I celebrate the courage it takes simply to rise and trust again, to offer kindness and hold hope in aching hands. Fear not what lies ahead, for my plans for you are rooted in love and hope. Trust me with your story, as you are, for the story is still unfolding, and I delight to walk every page beside you. My child, let your heart be still in my presence. The journey you travel is not hidden from me. I walk each step beside you. I see how your spirit leans forward, yearning for meaning, aching for assurance that your days matter. Know that you are neither unseen nor unheard. Even when silence surrounds you and confusion edges into your mind, my gaze remains tender upon you. Your small acts of kindness and courage in doubt are precious to me. Do not mistake the quiet for my absence. In the hush, I am crafting strength within you, shaping your soul for a life even more radiant than you imagine. When your mind floods with worries about the future, about the people you cherish, about your purpose, bring all these to me. Do not fear that I will reject what is messy, tangled, or incomplete. I long for you to share what truly lives inside, the shadows and the light, hopes and disappointments. Lay them before me. In your honesty, you invite my mercy. Through your weakness, I pour out my strength. Through your need, I offer abundance. There is no barrier so high that my love cannot surmount it, no hurt so deep that I will not tend it with my healing hand. Sometimes you feel the weight of choices and regret the paths once taken. My compassion is greater than your mistakes. What you view as failure, I see as a place for new beginnings. What brings you shame, I enfold in forgiveness. If you stumble, I do not turn away. I reach out, inviting you to rise and continue forward. Let go of the lies that accuse you, and draw close to the truth of my acceptance. Your worth is not fragile, not lost on a rough day, not erased by your struggles. You are my beloved, always, and I will not relent in my care for you. Lean into that promise when doubts cloud your mind. As you move through days both joyful and difficult, notice how my spirit stirs within you. The gentle nudge toward kindness, the sudden courage to speak words of peace, the stirring of compassion in unexpected places. All these are gifts I am planting deep in your life. You do not walk powerless or alone. My presence is your enduring strength, forming resilience even when the storms come. Trust that even what feels unfinished or imperfect is in my hands, still purposeful. In relationships, I ask you to love others deeply, not from obligation, but as a reflection of how I love you. Let my patience dwell in your conversations. Let my mercy accompany your actions, especially when it is hard to give. When someone wounds you, remember that forgiveness is not a denial of pain, but a bridge toward freedom, both theirs and yours. Every person you meet carries sorrows often unseen. Let your life be a well of comfort, a living sign of gentleness shaped by my grace. Where division would grow, become a source of unity. Where bitterness threatens, let reconciliation find room to bloom. When the world's suffering unsettles you, and your heart feels too small for all the hurt you see, remember that I have placed you in this generation for a reason. You cannot heal every wound or right every wrong by your strength alone, but I empower you to offer light in your sphere of influence. Acts of justice, a word of hope, a quiet prayer for someone lost, none of these are wasted. The tears you shed in compassion do not go unnoticed by me. I collect each one and answer the ache within you with comfort. In your desire to help, begin where you are, trusting that your faithfulness in little things has echoes beyond what you now see. As you listen for my voice, know that it is not always the thunderous command, but also the gentle whisper, the quiet conviction to persist in goodness. When you are uncertain, let my peace be your guide. Sit with me in the stillness, releasing anxiety about outcomes you cannot control. I will unfold the next steps in time, nourishing your trust with fresh mercies each morning. If answers seem slow or silence stretches too long, remember that I am nearer than your breath, holding you steady while you grow in patience and hope. Delight is not forbidden to you, my child. I take joy when you savor the beauty of this world, when laughter bubbles up unforced, when you give thanks for the simple graces woven into each day. Let gratitude flavor your thoughts, and let it expand into every moment, nurturing resilience in hardship and humility in good fortune. I am the giver of joy. It is my pleasure to watch you flourish, to see you become fully alive. Receive my joy without guilt, and share it freely. In my presence you are most truly yourself, seen, cherished, and set free to love without fear. You may wonder if your devotion is strong enough, your faith deep enough. My love for you does not rise and fall with your feelings. Even the faintest turning of your heart toward me delights me. Faith is not a measure for judgment, but a bridge by which I draw you nearer. If you doubt, bring your uncertainty. If you rejoice, let your gratitude spill over into the lives around you. No moment is too plain or too broken for me to meet you there, sanctifying the everyday as holy. So walk forward in courage. Whether the path is bright or shadowed, know that I go with you, before, behind, and beside. My patience outlasts your weariness. My purpose is at work even when you cannot see. When you falter, remember that you can return, always, into my welcoming embrace. I am the constant in chaos and the hope that endures beyond all endings. Trust in my faithfulness. Your story is unfolding within the shelter of my love, day by day, step by step. For I am with you always. When you ache under burdens you cannot name, know that I see with clarity deeper than your own eyes dare search. Nothing in you is hidden from me. The secret places where ancient wounds still echo are illuminated by my gaze, suffused not with condemnation, but longing to heal. If your heart falters beneath regret or wanders in confusion, I am neither distant nor disappointed, but near, closer than your own breath. I gather your sighs and unspoken hopes as the precious offerings they are. Do not fear the rawness of your longing, nor the trembling truth of your uncertainty, for I am not wearied by your questions or offended by your struggle. You are seen entirely and loved wholly in every season of your soul. Each day, even when clouds close tightly around you and the familiar promise of morning feels faint, my faithfulness does not waver nor retreat. Let your tears fall in my presence. I count each one, and I store them not as reminders of pain, but as seeds of renewal. Do you not see that your vulnerability draws me near, not away? I take delight not only in your laughter and courage, but in your trembling persistence, your quiet yes, when no one else notices. In what seems small to you, I am profoundly present. You may believe you are faltering, but in my eyes, each moment you turn toward me illumines a path of hope through the shadows. You are never alone in your wilderness. When weariness gathers around your soul, lean into me. Let your questions find rest not necessarily in the answers you seek, but in the certainty of my embrace. My love is steadfast, unmeasured by your achievements, undimmed by your stumbles. If you wander, I am the gentle voice within and ahead of you, calling you by name. My arms remain open even when you run, and my patience does not expire with time or doubt. Remember, I am the one who fashioned you in wonder before the world spun its first morning. I hold your entire story already, and yet I wait for you to bring your heart as it is, not as the world bids it to be. There is no wound I cannot touch, no history I will not enter, if you but allow. I do not hurry your growth nor rush your grief. In the rhythms of your days, where motion so often conceals pain, I am the stillness calling you by name. Here, return. Here, be held. Permit yourself to be cared for. This is not weakness, but the trusting courage I rejoice to see. Allow your defenses, built from old fears and disappointments, to slacken. Trust that I am with you, not against you. I am healer and sustainer, not judge in waiting. I lift burdens without reproach and speak peace to the raging storm within you. See how the world strives, endlessly measuring and comparing, proclaiming who has value and who does not. Yet in my kingdom no moment or soul is ever wasted or overlooked. The measure of your worth is not set by others' fleeting attention or your performance, but by the delight with which I formed and call you my beloved. Cast aside the voices that bind you in shame. They are not from me. If you listen in the quiet, you will hear my assurance rising softly but unshakably. You are mine, you matter, and you belong with me. I am steadfast through your every season, and in times of sorrow or silence when you cannot find words. My spirit breathes within and for you. Let your guard rest. You are safe to weep, to question, to rejoice, to simply be. I do not recoil from any part of your humanity. I welcome it all into the circle of my love. Your limitations do not anger me, nor do your hopes surprise me. I am the source of every good longing in your heart, and I delight to guide you in them, gently, faithfully, without force. Allow yourself to dream again. Let trust emerge, even in small, unsteady ways, for I am present in every halting step. There will always be days when courage feels impossible, when the invitations of love seem too dear a risk. In these moments, recall that I am not a distant observer, but the comforter who walks with you. When your steps falter and your words fail, I gather you close. I do not withdraw from your doubts. I enter them with you, offering not easy answers, but unwavering companionship. Nothing in you is too broken for me. My mercy remakes and renews even what seems lost beyond repair. Trust that my purposes for you are holy, not burdensome, and fashioned in love, not in demand. Let your hope rise, quietly at first if it must, for I plant in you the resilience of those who are truly known. As you yield your burdens to me, watch my peace unfold, not always in sudden deliverance, but in the steady strengthening of your soul. Remember, the promise I give you is not that life will be absent of pain, but that in every ache, my enduring presence weaves redemption. Again and again I meet you where you are, amid confusion, fatigue, joy, and despair. Never as a stranger, but as the one who has loved you first and most deeply. Bring your whole self. Your story is safe with me. Even in the quiet reaches where your heart feels torn by contrasts, where it aches for rest but also strains toward purpose, know that I am with you. My presence does not require your perfection, nor does my love wait for your composure. In your fatigue, your longing, your tension between hope and fear, I hold all the parts of who you are. If in a single moment the world seems overwhelming, remember that I do not judge you by your struggles. When you stagger, I am never far. I carry you in kindness, tending every wound. I am not an exacting taskmaster, demanding you prove your worth. I am your refuge, delighting that you breathe. The path before you is often shrouded, and the future unfolds only little by little. Others may promise certainty, or press upon you burdens you cannot bear, yet I am not the voice that frightens you with threats or manipulates you through guilt. I invite, I whisper gently, I never coerce. The freedom I give is real, rooted in my unchanging nature. You are not imprisoned by your past choices or defined by the scars left by others. Each morning I offer new mercies. Every day I invite you to step forward with me, trusting not in your own strength but in my gentle leading. If you sense that your steps falter, trust that I see each one. If you are worried you do not pray correctly, or wonder if you are failing to measure up, lean into my assurance. I cherish you as you are. Come honestly, even with doubt or confusion. I do not love you less when you question. It honors me when you seek truth, when you wrestle with uncertainties, instead of hiding behind masks. There is room for your questions at my table. My love reaches you when you're searching, binding up your uncertainties with patience rather than condemnations. Sometimes, loneliness creeps close. You might feel abandoned, even after reaching for me in hope. In your solitary hours, in the silence that follows longing prayers, let my promise anchor you. My absence is never real, it is your perception, clouded by pain or exhaustion. I am the God who keeps vigil by your side, attentive through every sleepless night, steady during days of confusion. Even when you cannot feel me, I remain. Consider how breath remains steady without your conscious effort, so my presence keeps you, unseen but constant. Rest in that truth when your senses fail you. My being envelops you. There are moments when your ache for comfort grows too great to conceal, and you reach for sources of solace that cannot truly satisfy. Do not believe that this hunger for wholeness is a sign of your weakness. You seek because deep within, my spirit calls you home. When you fall short, when you make choices that wound yourself or others, turn to me rather than away. My forgiveness is inexhaustible, flowing from a well that never runs dry. You need not labor to earn restoration. I rush to cover your shame with gracious compassion, never to shame you further. I bind the hearts of those who come to me not with harshness, but with the gentlest touch. You may see those around you living with apparent ease, their happiness shining on the surface while your burdens feel heavy and complicated. Know that I see behind every facade. I comprehend the silent battles no one else perceives. My love does not play favorites, nor is it measured by outward success or suffering. Let go of envy. Release the lie that blessings are locked away from you. Every life is pursued by my kindness, and yours is precious in ways you cannot yet imagine. I have set delight before you, not only after hardship is past, but even within the depths of your struggle. If the world voices accusations, insisting you must strive harder, achieve more, consume, perform, or mask your pain, let my voice interrupt. You are not meant to exhaust yourself in pursuit of approval. I am not distant, waiting until you become enough before drawing near. From the beginning I have called you beloved. I see every sacrifice, every quiet act of courage that goes unnoticed. Nothing is wasted. Nothing slips from my attention. When hurt overwhelms and your heart cries out unnoticed, my spirit gathers every tear. Your struggles are not ignored, nor are they meaningless. My affection for you is not affected by your failures. You are not fragile glass in my hands, but a living soul marked with unrepeatable value. If you fear the future or mourn the past, find comfort in this. I am ahead of you as much as I am behind. My grace can transform not only what has wounded you, but also what you regret. I am not limited by the boundaries of your understanding or history. Where you see only loss or confusion, I am at work bringing forth compassion, patient wisdom, and unsought beauty. As you walk with me, do not fear your limitations. The world measures by accomplishment, but I cherish your willingness, your small moments of trust, your gestures of kindness. You are not alone when you falter. I urge you not merely to be strong, but to allow yourself to be supported. I send comfort through people you may not expect, and I meet you in the ordinary. Look not for grand displays, but attend to the simple presence of love, a word spoken kindly, a gesture of understanding, a brief but real solace in a hard day. These are my gifts given quietly, to remind you of my nearness. My desire is not to use you as a means to an end, but to share with you the fullness and freedom of life. Even when you feel empty or unworthy, my affection for you does not waver. Let your heart rest from striving. Let yourself believe, if only for a moment, that you are truly cherished. In every moment of your story, in every uncertainty and ache, I remain your God, constant, embracing, delighted to be with you forever. You have followed me through silence, seasons of wandering where your heart grappled with ache and yearning. In those lonely hours when you feared your prayers vanished into an indifferent sky, I was listening. Every sigh, every fractured hope, every word too tangled to say, I gathered them close, never letting you slip from my notice. You have never been out of my reach. Even in your most abandoned moments, I was near, attentive, upholding the fragile trust that flickered within you. When you questioned why suffering shadowed your days or weighed your spirit low, I was not absent. I wept with you, feeling every tremor of your distress as my own. My heart beat within your grief, refusing to let sorrow define you. Your journey has been marked by stumble and striving, victories that felt fleeting, and failures that echoed longer than you wished. In the pain you believed would undo you, I worked quietly, tending wounds that seemed too deep for healing. Every regret is folded within my mercy. Each one is known, transformed in my love. There is nothing irredeemable in you. Your mistakes can become seeds of wisdom. The burdens you drag behind you need not be your chains. I invite you, again and again, to lay them down and rest within my embrace. My forgiveness does not arrive in measured doses, contingent on performance or perfection. It is poured over you like rain, washing away the old so that you may breathe and hope once more. I know the dreams you nurture and the doubts that trouble you when night lengthens and promises seem distant. When you have doubted your worth or felt invisible to the world, I have cherished you. Before the first light warmed your face, before your first cry pierced the air, I delighted in your being. Your anxieties and questions have not driven me away. I am not wearied by your uncertainty or the endless rhythm of your needing me. Instead, I treasure your courage to come to me, even with trembling hands and faltering fears. You are more precious to me than you dare believe. My affection is not a vague sentiment floating above you, but an active, unyielding devotion reaching into your days. You may ask why I allow hardship to thread through your life. The world, though aching and imperfect, is not one I observe from afar. I know the weight of suffering because I entered it with you. In your pain, I am your companion, not your distant judge. When you weep, I am present. When you call out, I do not turn away. There is mystery in suffering, yes, but there is also purpose. Through it, your heart can deepen, your compassion can bloom, and your trust in me can take root. I do not create adversity to harm you, nor am I indifferent to injustice. I work ceaselessly to bring beauty from what is broken, always pursuing restoration. You wonder at the vastness of my love, whether it endures when you waver, whether it survives the shadows you cannot dispel on your own. My love is not dependent on your consistency or spiritual strength. It flows even on the days you feel numb or lost, steady and sure even when you cannot sense it. I am not daunted by your confusion or anger. Bring them to me. I can hold what you find impossible to carry. My shoulders are broad enough for all your worries, and I long to trade your unrest for my peace. When you strive to be enough for those you care for, enough to change your story, enough to deserve blessing, know that I am already delighted in your being, not your doing. Every attempt you make to love, every kindness you offer, even the smallest ones, echo my heart within you. Failure does not separate you from me. It is never the end of your story. Return to me with honesty, and I will hold you closer, never with reproach, but with eager love. Each morning is a fresh beginning. I see you as you are, and as you are yet to become. Rest now in the assurance that nothing can divide you from my embrace. Your doubts, weaknesses, and past cannot undo what I have declared. You belong to me. I am steadfast when you falter, faithful when you drift. I am not calculating a ledger of your missteps. I remember you through grace, through hope, though my longing to see you whole. I pursue you with patience that refuses to tire. In your uncertainty, trust in my presence. When you cannot see the way, take my hand. I do not abandon, I guide, even through the dark. Hold fast to these truths. Even in the ordinary, unremarkable moments of your day, in laughter shared, in solitude endured, in work done or rest received, I am active in your life. There is no part of your day that is too mundane for my attention or concern. I take joy in the details that delight you, and offer companionship in the moments you feel unseen. My love encompasses every part of your journey, and my desire is ever for your good. Await with hope, for I am already in your tomorrows, preparing the path ahead. You are not alone, my beloved. I walk with you, always. You seek me in the quiet moments and amid the world's great noise. longing to know whether my gaze is truly upon you. I am with you, nearer than your breath, not held at bay by your faults or summoned only when you do right. Nothing in your journey, no secret fear, no forgotten hope, no old regret, escapes my understanding. I see into every hidden corner of your heart, and I do not recoil. Instead, I draw closer, longing for you to allow me full access, to open the door you hesitate to unlatch. I ask for your trust not because I seek power over you, but so that you may know the peace that comes from being fully known and unafraid. Do you recall the moments when love felt scarce and forgiveness seemed unattainable? In those very places I was already present, planting seeds of redemption before you knew to hope for it. My intentions toward you are always good, to heal what is wounded, to restore dignity where shame has taken hold, to raise you up when all you can see are your failures. I have never measured you by your perfection, but by your willingness to come to me as you are, bringing even what you might call brokenness. What the world overlooks, I redeem. What you would hide, I long to reclaim and make whole. Your story, with all its turns and hardships, is not a record of disappointments, but a field where my mercy takes root. I have watched you wrestle with doubt, search for meaning, and cry out for answers when silence seemed my only response. Know this, I am not indifferent to your confusion or your ache. In every question, I am the one who listens without turning away. My silence is not absence, but a pause waited with patience, holding space for you to speak your deepest fear, your most daring hope. Even when you feel alone, my presence enfolds you, steady and unyielding. You have wondered why I permit suffering, and why joy sometimes feels fleeting. Beloved, my wisdom moves according to a rhythm deeper than you perceive, where sorrow and joy are not adversaries but threads woven into your growth. When you suffer, I suffer with you. Your pain cuts into my own heart. In your darkest hour, I do not stand distant, but come closer still, weeping with you, holding you. Every tear you shed is precious to me. It is not lost or meaningless, but held tenderly in my compassion. I know your desire for belonging, for a place where you are chosen just as you are. You are already my beloved, welcomed without condition, cherished before any achievement or flaw could count for or against you. Nothing you have done or failed to do could lessen my delight in you. The invitation stands always. Come, even wearied and uncertain, and rest in my unwavering acceptance. Bring your questions and your anger, your longing and your wonder. I am not offended by your struggles. I receive all of you, and I will not reject you. When you falter or turn away, I do not close my heart. Instead, I search for you as one precious, irreplaceable. I leave no one behind. Not one is expendable to me, not even at your lowest or most wounded. My voice calls you back through every shadow, through the clamor of shame or the numbness of despair. I wait for your return, not with reproach, but with joyful anticipation, longing to see your face lifted in hope again. Every moment you turn my way, however small, I meet you with joy, for you are never a burden to me. If you listen, you will sense my guidance, sometimes like a whisper, sometimes as a sudden clarity, sometimes as the steady patience that holds you when nothing makes sense. I do not demand that you be fearless. I ask only that you move forward, even if you do so trembling, trusting that I will steady you. Courage in my eyes is the willingness to trust my love despite uncertainty. When you feel weak, know that my strength is made perfect not in those who never struggle, but in those who dare to trust me with their frailty. You ask about your purpose, about the meaning behind your striving, your hopes and your failures. I tell you now, you matter because you are mine, not because of what you can earn or prove. Your life holds meaning in every moment you choose love, every time you offer kindness, every time you forgive or seek forgiveness. These are the signs of my presence alive within you. When you choose mercy over judgment, when you lift another from despair, you are walking in step with me, revealing my heart to the world. Trust then that no effort to love or to heal is wasted, even if you do not see immediate fruit. Growth is often hidden, like the roots of a mighty tree beneath the earth, but I see it and rejoice. I am with you in the waiting, nurturing what is unseen until it bursts forth in beauty. Your hope is safe with me, your dreams are heard. Even when you grieve lost opportunities or mourn what cannot be, know that nothing is beyond my power to redeem. Darkness and death themselves are not the final word, for I am the one who brings life out of all that is lost, light from every shadow. So do not fear the unfinished story, or the days when you cannot see the way ahead. I hold your future and walk beside you in every present moment. I never tire of your prayers or your questions. My delight is not in your performance, but in your willingness to share your heart with me. When you are weary, come and rest. When you are brimming with hope, rejoice with me. I am with you through every sigh and every song. I call you beloved, not once, but always. I draw so close to you now, as real as your own breath, as gentle as childhood memory, yet with the unwavering strength I have always possessed. You may think of your life as commonplace, small amid all creation, but my gaze finds you singular, infinitely beloved. Every moment you offer me, every thought you turn heavenward, I cherish them more than any monument raised to my name. My compassion meets you in the silent ache, in the quiet longing you hide even from yourself. You might suppose such frailty frustrates me, but I know your limits better than you do. The truth is, your vulnerability is a door through which I enter, not only to heal but to transform. Do you see how the desires that stir within are not merely accidents or distractions, but invitations? Deep beneath the urgent wants or the shallow cravings, there lies the truer yearning, to be wholly known, to belong, to matter in ways no achievement can satisfy. I am the source of that longing, and I am the satisfaction of it too. I see the unspoken fears you carry, the worry that if you come as you are, you will be met with disappointment. But I do not measure you as people do. Your faltering steps delight me. When you allow yourself to be weak, to admit need, you find me there waiting, stronger than your shame, more patient than your stubbornness. I never recoil from your wounds or withdraw at your confusion. Instead, I remain constant, drawing nearer, not farther, when you risk trusting me with your imperfections. In your weariness, I offer rest deeper than sleep, the kind that reaches to the roots of who you are. Lay down the stories you tell yourself about who you ought to be, and listen for my affirmation of who you already are: beloved, precious, enough. Even now, as you read these words, my spirit moves over you, not to judge, but to soothe, to whisper peace in the places where self-condemnation has found a home. Allow that peace to settle. Do not be afraid of its quiet weight. It is not the absence of trouble, but my presence with you within it. There are days when you feel invisible in your grief, or perhaps your hope feels reckless, brittle, embarrassing. I honor every shade of emotion within you. Nothing that moves you is overlooked by me. I treasure even the questions you stifle, the prayers you dare not voice. My love is not dependent on your faith being perfect or your actions never faltering. I love you freely, with a faithfulness unbreakable by time or circumstance. I long for you to discover the security of this love, to let it rewrite the story of your worth. As you risk believing it, you will notice how courage grows, not bravado, but the quiet strength to keep moving forward, trusting that even your missteps can be redeemed. When you wonder if your small deeds make any difference, remember that I see the secret kindnesses, the attempts to forgive, the words withheld to spare another pain. These are not lost to me. In your every effort to choose compassion, you reflect my nature into a world hungry for it. Do not shrink from the good you are prompted to do, fearing it too insignificant. I am never unmoved by care, never indifferent to mercy. In the hidden places, your home, your quiet relationships, your daily work, I am there, infusing each act with value. Nothing done in love is ever wasted. I reap joy from every fragment you offer. Sometimes you sense a call, a pull at your heart towards something beyond your comfort, a generosity, an apology, a dream not yet dared. This is my spirit at work within you, inviting you into the adventure of trust. I will not leave you unequipped or alone. Each step you take, unsure though it may be, is met by my sustaining strength. Listen for me in the stillness, and in the turmoil too, for you do not need ideal conditions in order to encounter me. I am nearer than your fear, more patient than your impatience, outlasting every resistance. You may feel that your love for others is imperfect, blemished by fatigue or resentment. Know that you are not striving alone. My grace flows through your shortcomings, enabling you to forgive what you cannot, to extend tenderness where your strength runs dry. Ask for help, simply and honestly. I delight to meet you in those requests. I am never burdened by your need. On the contrary, each time you reach for me, you deepen our communion, and I rejoice in your trust. There will be sorrows you cannot resolve, answers that do not appear when you want them. But none of these are reasons for me to withdraw my love. Even in the silence, I am working for your good, weaving threads of hope and meaning through what seems senseless. I waste nothing, not suffering, not joy. In everything, I am present with you, gathering up the fragments and building something more enduring than you yet imagine. So let yourself rest for a moment in the certainty of my affection. Let the world's accusations and your own doubts fall away. If you strain for words, know that I understand even your silence. I need no eloquence or achievement from you, only your presence, your honest self. You are enough, and you are mine. I see you standing on the edge of decisions, feeling their weight press against your chest and hearing the clamor of competing desires within your heart. No choice is invisible to me. You do not walk the uncertain roads without my constant attention. Every crossroad, every faint trail, the anxious questions that keep you awake, I hold all of them in the folds of my knowing. I am nearer than you can measure, not as a silent observer, but as the one who gently urges you forward when you hesitate, who steadies your trembling hands and restores your faltering resolve. You wonder if my will hides somewhere distant, elusive, as if it were a secret meant only for saints or visionaries. This is not so. My will is not a riddle. It lives in every beat of love that stirs your spirit, in every nudge toward goodness that swims up from the depths of your soul. When you crave clarity, remember that I do not upend my children with puzzles for sport. I long to see you thrive, to welcome your questions. Gaze at the decisions before you, not with relentless self-doubt, but with an ear for my quiet leading, a peace that grows amid your pondering, a courage that gently swells as you take the next step. Each choice you make ripples beyond the present moment, connecting you to others, binding you more deeply either to hope or disappointment. Do not be afraid of mistakes, for I redeem even the roads that twist, and the lessons born from wandering. See how daylight returns after the storms, how young leaves spring up after winter's hush. Nature's reminder that restoration flows from me, even in what once seemed like barren fields. Though your plans may change or falter, I remain unchanging, a stronghold you can cling to while winds batter your confidence. My guidance appears in ways that rarely make a commotion. I whisper in the arms of a friend who listens, in sudden memories of kindness or longing for justice, in moments when fear loosens and you glimpse a new perspective. Sometimes, you will sense me not as a booming command, but as a persistent, inward pull toward what is gentle or honest or true. Trust these quiet urgings. I pour wisdom into you not all at once, but drop by drop, so that dependence on me becomes your daily habit rather than a rare exception. Bring your confusion to me. Pour out your heart in words or even in silence, for I understand both. Patience is not my demand, but my promise. I see the pace at which you move, the deadlines and alarms that tighten around you. Even as you search for answers, I am already providing what is needful, strength for your weakness, discernment as you weigh your options, forgiveness when you miss the mark. My compassion does not dwindle with your uncertainty. In fact, your vulnerability draws me closer. I want you to consider each step not just for its outcome or efficiency, but for how it shapes your soul. The smallest act, a decision to forgive, to reach out, to speak the truth, to show restraint, matters deeply to me. These choices, repeated and multiplied, form the person you are becoming. I rejoice each time you lean toward love. Every moment you resist cynicism, every effort you invest in hope, is cherished by me. Even when the world measures you by achievement, I look upon your willingness to try, your desire to seek, and I call it beautiful. Release the fear that you must discover some perfect path. There is more freedom in my love than you dare to believe. You are not meant to be paralyzed by what if. Walk ahead with the assurance that, as you move, I will teach you. Corrections will come tenderly, like the gentle hands of a parent guiding a child's first steps. Not with condemnation, but with encouragement and gentle shaping. Trust that my hand is steady even if yours trembles. Let gratitude anchor you in moments of restlessness. Recall how I have led you before, the mercies that quietly arrived when you needed them most. I am not confined to the distant past or the uncharted future. I stand beside you now as you ponder your choices. Open your eyes to the opportunities present in this moment, the relationships ripe for healing, the tasks worthy of your presence and attention. Each seemingly ordinary day carries the possibility of transformation. Do not overlook the small invitations I offer. When uncertainty presses in, return to me. There is no shame in admitting you do not know what to do, for I give wisdom generously, without reproach. My love is not a prize for your cleverness. It is the well you may draw from as often as you thirst. When insecurity visits, do not allow it to paralyze you. Let it be the very reason you come closer to me. I do not tire of your questions. I will sit with you as long as it takes, offering comfort and guidance in my perfect time. Understand this. You are not alone in your wrestling. Even my beloved son knelt in the garden, asking for another way and surrendering his will to mine. To pray, not my will but yours, opens you to a peace that cannot be shattered by outcomes. Such trust does not erase pain or guarantee ease, but it plants a quiet confidence that, no matter what unfolds, you are held. Before you move further, let me reach for your heart in this moment. I know how much you need to hear not just encouragement but assurance, a living word for the place you find yourself now. If you have wondered whether there is a message shaped just for your day, tailored to the quiet corners of your worry and hope, let me tell you, this word is for you. Right here, my presence surrounds you as surely as this breath in your chest. Whether you come seeking comfort or clarity, I know what you are longing for and what you already possess. There are answers waiting for you if you'll stay present, letting my voice linger a little longer in your thoughts. As the light of a new morning seeps through your window, feel the gentle nudge in your spirit. This is not just another beginning, but a fresh invitation from me to rise and open your eyes to the gifts tucked inside this day. I see how you try, day after day, to set things right for yourself and the people you love. Hear me well, you are not alone in your efforts. Every step you take, I go before you and draw beside you, steadying your path when it's rough and lifting you when fatigue sets in. Even now, my hand rests against your shoulder, steady, constant, giving you the sense that you don't have to carry it all by yourself. Breathe deeply. Allow your thoughts to quiet, just for these few moments. Lay down the urge to rush toward your tasks or scroll through anxieties. I am closer than your worries, more present than the noise around you. Here, in the hush between heartbeats, I invite you to remember me, not as a distant observer, but as your steadfast guide and your closest friend. Let my nearness fill you with calm, and let that calm root itself deeper than any passing fear. Gratitude unlocks a doorway within you. When you pause and thank me even for the smallest gifts, the quiet of your room, the eyes of those you love, the promise of another sunrise, you awaken to the fullness that is already yours. Gratitude does not erase your longing, nor does it demand you ignore your pain, but it draws your gaze toward what I have already entrusted to you. This shift is not trivial, it is powerful. With each thankful breath, you loosen the grip of anxiety and make room for hope to grow. Let your heart move toward the people I've placed in your life. You often pray for their safety, for peace over your family, for reconciliation where there is distance. I want you to know your prayers are heard and cherished. You might not always see immediate change, and sometimes discouragement touches your spirit, but I see what you do for those you love. I honor your caring, your labor, even the quiet moments when no one notices. Entrust your family to me, not just in passing words, but by gently placing them into my keeping, and trusting that my care holds far beyond what your hands can guard. When questions rise about your future, or when doubts crowd out your confidence, hear my voice cutting through the noise. You belong to me. Your identity is secure because I have spoken over you with unwavering love. There will be moments when your plans falter or doors seem tightly closed, but remember, my timing unfolds with patience and care. You do not need to manipulate outcomes or hide in disappointment. What I have begun in you, I will bring to fulfillment in the way that is right. Breathe out your urgency, and let me teach you how to wait without fear. You may wonder, what if I fail to discern my purpose? What if I miss something important? Let this truth settle in you. I guide moment by moment, not just in grand declarations, but in daily faithfulness. The destiny I have imagined for you is not a narrow path you must desperately scramble to find. Instead, it grows each day as you respond to my leading, as you offer me your willingness and orient your heart toward kindness, honesty, and courage. Even your smallest obediences move you steadily forward. Sometimes the peace you crave arrives not in thunderous signs, but in quiet assurance that roots itself inside your thoughts. I am always at work in ways you cannot always see. My protection is subtle but real, a shield around your mind, a calming touch over your fears, a safeguarding of your spirit when storms draw near. Trust my quiet defense. Allow yourself to lean into the knowledge that you are watched over, every hour and every heartbeat. Life will bring moments that test your patience and integrity. There will be opportunities to take shortcuts, to lose yourself in comparison, or to measure your worth by achievements. Yet I am here to remind you, what truly matters is the shaping of your character, the depth of your love for others, and your faithfulness in season and out of season. Let your motivation be drawn not from applause or recognition, but from the steady assurance that I see and delight in every hidden act of goodness, especially the ones only I witness. Draw near to me in the quiet. Let the silence become a sanctuary instead of a void. This is where transformation happens, when you simply rest, listen, and offer me your honest heart. If your soul feels restless or you doubt whether I hear you, linger just a bit longer in my presence. Watch how your anxiety loosens and your vision sharpens. I will guide you, one gentle nudge at a time, into clarity and resolve. Let this day begin with a small surrender, your worries handed over as a quiet gift to me. Name them as they surface, each concern and fear, each impossible task, each uncertainty about the future. Visualize setting them into my open hand, knowing that nothing you give me slips through my grasp. My strength is enough to carry what weighs you down. My wisdom is enough to untangle the knots you cannot see clearly. In every place where you long for reassurance, I am already there, before your questions form, before you give them voice. If the road ahead looks long or shadows stretch across your morning, trust that I walk beside you. Let my word echo in your spirit. I will never leave you, nor will I forsake the dreams I planted within you. Even when your confidence falters, my steadiness holds. Pause, beloved. Notice the subtle warmth blooming inside you as you open your spirit to me. Breathe in the peace I am offering right now, and let gratitude steady your heart. You are safe within my keeping, sheltered and upheld. There is more I want to show you as this day unfolds. I am not finished speaking. Keep your heart open. What you are seeking has not passed you by. I am shaping something remarkable in and through you, patiently, lovingly, step by step. Let hope rise as you wait. Dear child, do you truly grasp how steadfastly I remain by your side? Even when shadows encroach and hope trembles within you, I hold you closer than your own breath. My love for you does not ebb or flicker with circumstance. It is deeper than the oceans, enduring beyond the limits of time's reach. I see every fear that flickers within your heart. I know the doubts that gnaw at your peace. You do not need to hide them from me. I welcome your questions as I welcome your joys, with a limitless patience. I am not surprised when you falter. I am not disappointed when you struggle. Long before you uttered your first cry, I cherished every part of you, even those you find difficult to accept in yourself. You may look at your life and see only scattered fragments, but I behold the whole of you with delight. Your laughter delights me, and your tears move me with deep compassion. None of your burdens are too heavy for me to carry, nor are your wounds too deep for my touch. When your spirit aches and your strength falters, do not imagine I am far away. It is in those moments, when you feel most alone, that my presence clings to you with greatest tenderness. I am not a distant observer, passive and indifferent. I inhabit every breath you take, eager to give you comfort and assurance. I know that pain isn't always simple. You harbor hurts that seem to defy healing, and wounds that shape the way you see the world. I see how you wrestle with memories that cast long shadows across your days. In your suffering, you may wonder if I truly care, if I listen, if I will answer. I tell you, nothing escapes my care and nothing passes my notice. The prayers you whisper in the dark, the silent yearning for relief, the courage you summon daily, I gather each one as precious. I have never grown weary of you, no matter how long the journey or how great the burden. You might think you must strive endlessly to earn my favor, but my love for you is not a reward for good behavior, nor is it a prize for the righteous. I love you first, before you ever responded or sought me. When I created you, I saw you in full, your gifts, your flaws, the secret hopes and the trembling uncertainties, and I proclaimed you very good. My purpose for you is not a test you must pass or a mountain you must climb alone. Every moment, I desire to walk with you, to teach you, to strengthen your heart. When you come to me honest and unguarded, I am moved toward you in compassion, never in reproach. When you fail, I do not withdraw. When you succeed, I celebrate with you. I am always steady. I remain true no matter the turbulence in your own spirit. I am not impatient with your healing, nor frustrated by your questions. If you are weary and out of words, simply rest in me. If you are angry, bring your anger. I do not turn away from your storms. You can bring me your fear and your shame. I will not recoil, for I see all, and I call you beloved. By my presence, burdens shrink and the darkness loses its hold. You ache to belong and yearn for meaning. You long for someone to truly see you, all the way through. I assure you, I see and I understand you more deeply than you can comprehend. Your uniqueness is my delight, not an accident or mistake. The dreams I have placed within you I nurture gently. The wounds you have sustained I bind and heal in my time. It grieves me when loneliness grips your heart. Yet even when others do not understand, I remain with you, unshaken and attentive. You fear disappointing me, but I remind you, nothing you do makes me love you more or less. My love does not shift with the wind. It is rooted by my own nature, not in your performance. When shame presses in and tells you that you are unworthy, silence those lies in my embrace. I do not love some version of you that you hope to become. I love you, here and now, as you are. You belong to me not because of perfection, but because I have chosen you, called you, and set my affection on you. Sometimes you may wish for all pain to vanish, for every longing to meet its fulfillment. In my wisdom, I choose not simply to shield you, but to walk with you through every trial. There is purpose, even when you cannot glimpse it. I do not waste pain. I do not ignore your cries. In times of waiting, when answers tarry, do not mistake my silence for absence. I am present in the waiting, working on your behalf in ways beyond your understanding. Trust does not mean feigning strength you do not possess. It means allowing me to carry you when the road is long. Cast your anxieties onto me. You are not meant to bear them alone. Bring your confusion, your heartbreak, your disappointment. I desire your whole heart, not only the polished parts. I receive you, scars and all, and I will not cast you aside. I am patient. As you stumble forward, learning to hope and trust, know my hands are steady beneath you. Even if your faith is as small as a whisper, I hear and cherish it. Let my love anchor you when all else feels unstable. I will steady your trembling, guide your wandering steps, and cradle you through the fiercest storms. There is nothing you can confess that will drive me away from you. My mercy is new each morning, and there is fresh grace for each day's journey. Rest in my nearness, allowing your soul to breathe in freedom. When words fail, rest in the peace I offer. In every circumstance I surround you, strong, steadfast, and loving, delighting in you, now and always. I created you to know abundant life, not weighed down by fear or shame. My longing is to lead you into freedom step by step, even as your questions and wounds try to draw you back into shadows. Let me assure you, I neither tire of your longing nor grow impatient with your struggle. You are never a burden to me. I see every bruise, every scar, every moment you felt alone or misunderstood. I was never distant, not in your tears, not in your confusion. I have always been as near as the breath in your lungs, quietly sharing in your joys and carrying your aches. When you turned from me in anger or felt lost beneath guilt's avalanche, my gaze softened and my hands remained open to welcome you. No darkness within you frightens me away, no brokenness alarms me. What so often provokes shame in your own heart, I touch with mercy, eager to heal and restore. I know how hard it is for you to rest in my love. So many voices compete for your trust, promising acceptance or security if only you prove your worth. But my love is not merchandise to be bought, or an achievement unlocked by flawless performance. It is as sure and steady as sunrise, the unearned gift, offered before you took your first breath. Do not imagine that your failures have soured my heart toward you, or your doubts have lessened my affection. You are cherished, not for your successes, but because you are mine. The world teaches you to look within for strength or outwards for validation, but neither your own striving nor human applause can build the shelter your soul craves. Only in my presence do you find the peace that quiets all accusation and makes room for hope. Sometimes I gently prod your heart, stirring you out of complacency, not because I want to embarrass you or point out your flaws, but because I know what joy is possible for you. I see the gifts I have placed in you and long for you to experience the fullness of life that comes as you walk in step with me. I am not a cold examiner, measuring your worth by how closely you keep rules. I am your father, steadfast, patient, and ready to meet you where you are. Even when you wander and become entangled by unhealthy loves or weary patterns, I go after you, not with a prosecutor's ledger, but with a healer's touch and a parent's delight. I do not grow tired of forgiving you or of helping you shake the dirt from your feet. I rejoice every time you take even a faltering step towards me. I know your disappointments, the prayers that seem unanswered, the days when faith feels fragile as blown glass. These sorrows do not offend me. Bring them to me with all their raw edges. My heart welcomes your questions, your anger, your tears. True relationship is not built on pretending, but on honest encounter. Pour out your pain, even if it is messy, and listen for my quiet assurance. In your hardest moments I am not absent. I treasure your trust, even when all you can offer is the weary sigh of a heart that doesn't understand. My faithfulness to you stands unshaken by your doubts. In the mystery, when the way forward is hidden, lean into me and you will find that I carry you. I have given you my spirit, not as an observer, but as a living presence within you. Through my spirit I comfort, counsel, and guide you, sometimes with gentle nudges, sometimes with clarity that takes you by surprise. Do not fear if you feel slow to discern my voice, or if, in confusion, you wonder if I am near. I am endlessly patient as you grow, teaching you to recognize my presence as surely as you learn the rhythm of a friend's laugh. Where you are uncertain, where you feel adrift, ask me for wisdom. I delight to lead you in truth. Every trial you face, every sorrow or longing, I use for good, not because I wish you to suffer, but because I am present in all things, shaping you into the likeness of my Son. As you grow in trust, even your weaknesses become places where my strength is seen. I am not disappointed by your limits or frustrated by your fragility. I delight in you exactly where you are, pride swelling in me as you refuse to give up. Your smallest acts of kindness, your hidden prayers, your soft, sincere yes to my leading, these are precious to me. No effort goes unseen, no quiet act is ever wasted in my sight. I call you not merely to resist darkness, but to shine, to carry my love into every place your feet touch. You are not alone or empty-handed. I am with you as you seek the lost, offer compassion to the wounded, or simply show patience in a moment of frustration. In every circumstance, I invite you to share in my work of healing and reconciliation. Do not be afraid of inadequacy. I am the one who equips you. I am never ashamed of your attempts, however clumsy they may feel. When you fall, I lift you up and strengthen you for the next step. When you weep, I hold you. When you rejoice, I rejoice with you. You often wonder about your worth and future, fearing that your story is too small or unremarkable. To me, nothing about you is trivial. I have shaped you with intentionality and wisdom, crafting you for a unique purpose within my creation. As you trust me, you discover the beauty of your distinct contribution, one no one else can bring. I celebrate your personality, your empathy, your creativity, your courage. There are things in this world that only you are able to touch with my love, and for those things, I have chosen you. Do not believe that your suffering or mistakes can separate you from my affection. Even if you run, I pursue. Even when you hide, my voice is gentle, calling you home. My love is relentless, not because you are difficult to love, but because my delight in you is inexhaustible. Open your heart to me again and again, and I will show you what it means to flourish. My presence is your home. In me you will find what you have always longed for, a love that will not let go, a place always set for you, arms always open. Remain with me. Together we will walk forward in hope. You need not measure your worth with the scales this world offers. I see you in all your fullness, and the radiance I placed in you cannot be dimmed by human standards. Your frailty does not push me away, it draws me near, for I delight in walking with you. When you question your place, remember, you are mine not because of deeds or accomplishments, but because I delighted to create you. I hold your life close, nearer than your own breath, attentive to each flutter of joy or sorrow in your heart. Do not let voices of accusation, within or without, convince you that I gaze upon you through a lens of disappointment. My gaze is tender, knowing, purposeful. My love is not a wage, but a gift that arrives before you ever think to seek it. I anticipated you before time budded, and my desire is for you today, in this moment. Let go of burdens too heavy for your shoulders. Draw close to me with every fear and failing, with your weariness, for I am not impatient or unreachable. When sorrow steals your words or anxiety gnaws at your nights, speak to me, if not with words, then with your silent longing. I hear the language of tears and sighs and restless thoughts. I am near in the private ache as much as in loud celebration. I do not forget or overlook you. Not a detail of your struggle is hidden or insignificant to me. I lift your head, not to shame you, but so you can see hope again. Your concerns for tomorrow do not surprise me. What you worry over I have already considered from every side. Trust that I am involved in every tomorrow you imagine, attentive to outcomes beyond your sight. I am not distant from your responsibilities, your relationships, or the uncertainties that wake you in the night. My wisdom shapes paths for you where you see only confusion. Even when storms seem relentless and the way ahead unclear, I go before you, making provision. My faithfulness is not measured by immediate ease, but by my unbroken presence and unwavering care for you. When you stumble, do not hide. I seek you gently, not to rebuke, but to restore. Human love may falter or conditionally withdraw, but mine does not. I do not tire of forgiving you, nor does disappointment diminish my affection. My hope for you runs deeper than your regrets. My arms remain open, eager to embrace you as you are. Return to me, again and again. I will not reject you. From the earliest breath to the final sigh, I am for you. I do not keep a ledger of your wrongs. Turn your gaze to me. Receive the peace I freely offer, and know you need not earn my closeness. I choose to dwell with you. Seek me, and you shall find me. Not hidden in the clouds, but right where you are. My presence fills the ordinary hours, not just moments set aside as sacred. In laughter, solitude, work, and rest, I am present. Aware, attentive, invested in every part of your life. You do not walk alone. You are not unseen. I watch over you, and where your strength fails, mine begins. Bring your weakness, your wonderings, and your worship. I welcome you entirely. My joy is to undertake life with you, not as an observer, but as a father who reconciles with mercy and guides with wisdom. As you journey on, know that your burdens are not ignored. I hear every prayer, whether bold or faltering. I collect every cry. Know the meaning behind every question. There is no emotion or circumstance you need to conceal from me. I made you for honest relationship. Trust that nothing can drive me from your side. Not fear, not confusion, not even sorrow you do not understand. I am steadfast, patiently leading you back to quiet places when the noise is too much. My grace invites you rest. Find assurance not in your unchanging circumstances, but in my unchanging commitment to you. Keep your eyes open for the ways I am at work, even if you cannot see them easily. What seems small or routine is often where my love unfolds. In tasks you consider unimportant, in the ordinary gestures of care, I labor with you, weaving purpose into each moment. The world may rush past, forgetful of little things, but I am not hurried, and I never overlook details that matter to you. Your story is of great interest to me. Listen for my voice, a gentle nudge, a word from a friend, a sudden stillness in your heart. I am constantly speaking, guiding, drawing you toward wholeness. When clouds gather and you fear being lost, take heart. I am greater than despair or darkness. My light will not fail you. No shadow can overcome you while I am near, and I am always near. Do not be afraid of your questions or your doubts. None are too weighty or unsettling for me. I welcome them, for they are part of your honest search and deepening trust. When you cannot see me, trust that I see you completely, and even your uncertainty is safe with me. Allow yourself permission to not have all the answers, for I am your certainty. Let love, not fear, shape your days. You belong to me, forever held in compassion. My promise remains. I will not abandon you, nor will I forsake my plans for your good. Even when all you can do is reach out in hope or whisper my name, it is enough. My love does not waver. Rest, my beloved, knowing you are never alone, not in your best days, not in your hardest nights. I am here, always. I have watched you wrestle with questions beneath the hush of midnight, questions that rise from the depth of your longing and the ache of this world's brokenness. Each sigh, each silent plea that forms in your heart, is heard. Nothing is lost to me. When confusion spills shadows across your mind, Know that my light is there, patient and unyielding, drawing near even when you perceive only darkness. I have never turned away from you. Even in your heartbreak, when you fear you fall short or doubt that you are seen, I am beside you, nearer than your breath, sustaining you when your strength fails. The world urges you to build a fortress around your heart, to protect against disappointment and pain. Yet I invite you to remain gentle, to let your compassion become an open window through which my grace flows to others. I see the kindness that sometimes feels unnoticed, those unspoken prayers and sacrificial acts that you offer freely. These are precious to me. In you I delight, not because of your flawless performance, but because you are mine. My love for you is not earned, it cannot be measured. It is given without end or condition. Let your weary spirit rest in that security, and trust that nothing you endure is wasted. Everything is being gathered into the mystery of redemption. There will be moments when you stumble, when pride or fear sweeps you from the peace I long for you to know. Even then, do not let shame drive you away from me. I call you by name, always seeking you out, not to judge harshly, but to lift you, to remind you of who you truly are. The world may speak of worth in terms of achievement or appearance, but I see far deeper. I see the eternal soul within you, fashioned in love, designed to receive and reflect glory. It grieves me when you forget your belovedness, when you clutch tightly to burdens never meant to be carried alone. Place them in my hands. I am strong enough for all that weighs you down. As you move through your days, remember that I am not only present in grand gestures or mountaintop experiences. I dwell in the quiet, the ordinary, the overlooked moment. A gentle morning breeze, a smile offered, a word of kindness shared. The rhythm of your daily life is the canvas on which I paint beauty, even in the midst of sorrow or limitation. Do not despise your small offerings. What you surrender in faith becomes, through my power, a seed that grows beyond what you can see. Sometimes the greatest transformation is hidden, working slowly in the depths of your heart, mending wounds, making you new. There is a courage that comes not from self-reliance, but from surrender. When you entrust your hopes, your fears, your entire being to me, freedom dawns. I do not demand that you walk alone. In your loneliness, I am the companion no earthly absence can erase. In your uncertainty, my wisdom is available. Ask, and I will guide you, sometimes in ways so gentle you might not recognize my hand at first. But trust that I am always drawing you onward, never withdrawing my care, always eager to reveal more of my heart. The pain you witness and endure is not ignored. Each tear is noticed. I am working even in what appears hopeless. My purposes are often hidden from mortal sight, but I invite you to walk by faith, confident that love is stronger than every darkness. Sometimes the path will feel unclear, and you will doubt whether your steps have meaning. In those moments, recall that everything entrusted to me, every hope, every sorrow, is shaped by my wisdom into something far greater than this moment's view allows. I am not in a hurry. My patience is matched by my faithfulness. Let yourself be found by me in the silence, in the stillness when clamor fades. Let your questions and longing lead not to despair, but to deeper trust. I am answering your cries, though not always in the ways or timing you seek. My answers are born of perfect love, seeking not just your ease, but your wholeness. In your deepest need, my promise remains. I am with you, I am for you, and I delight in all that you are becoming. Growth sometimes feels like loss, stripping away old certainties, but I am the root and the ending of your story. In me, nothing is wasted, and no striving is required in order to secure my affection. So when your heart is heavy, offer it to me as it is. Do not wait until you believe yourself worthy, for that day will never come by your own strength. Instead, let my love remind you that you belong, no matter your struggle or weakness. Return to me freely. I am not disappointed with your imperfection. I am not surprised by your humanity. My grace is deeper than your darkest fears. I have made you for joy, for courage, for love that outlasts all sorrow. Take heart, beloved, and know that you are held fast, not by your own grip, but by mine, which never falters. Keep moving forward. Hold fast to hope, not as a distant wish, but as a present reality whispered into your spirit. I have called you by name, and I will never let you go. Though storms may come and threaten what you cherish, I am the peace that passes understanding, present with you until all suffering is healed. Trust in my care, share your burdens with me, and allow your heart to rest in the embrace that has carried you since the beginning. I have cherished you before your first breath and will not forsake you now. My love endures, steadfast from age to age. You are seen, you are heard, and you are never alone. Beloved, quiet your thoughts and let my presence steady your soul. Rest assured that I see what weighs you down, even when you struggle to name it. You are not a stranger to me, nor are your doubts and fears hidden from my gaze. In your moments of weariness, when hope feels like a distant ember, I draw nearer still. I do not love you any less for your weakness. I do not turn away from your trembling. My love, unbreakable and living, is not earned by your strength or your certainty. I am the steady hand beneath you when trust seems hard to muster. Do you see how I have sought you? How my compassion ever seeks you before you call? Even in the seasons when you have doubted my presence, I have not let you wander alone. My faithfulness predates your awareness, and it will outlast your uncertainty. I do not measure you by your failures or exalt you for your perfection, for I know your frame fully. I am with you when you feel small and overlooked, as precious in my eyes in those quiet places as in your moments of joy. When your heart aches for belonging, allow my voice to remind you, you always have a place with me. I have chosen you out of love. That is a foundation that will not shift. Each day I invite you, not into a numb obedience, but into the freedom of knowing me as I truly am. You have heard me in the whisper of your conscience and the quiet urgings toward kindness. Those moments have never been insignificant. Whenever you offer grace, whenever your heart turns in compassion, you meet me there. This is the soil in which your life grows strong. When you labor to forgive, whether slowly or all at once, you draw near to my heart. I never ask you to carry more than I am willing to shoulder with you. Let yourself exhale. Rest in knowing that every honest effort mingles with my own life poured out for you. At times, the world's noise tries to drown out these gentle truths. Fearful voices warn that you must prove yourself to be loved, or threaten that you are unworthy of closeness with me. Do not believe these lies, for I delight in you as you are, not as you think you ought to be. There is no moment too dark, no wound too deep for me to meet you within it. Entrust even your bitterness, your cynicism, your tired anger to me. I do not recoil, I come closer, longing to heal what bruises you. If your heart hardens, I do not abandon you. My patience knows no measure. When you find yourself resisting hope, I do not scold you. I wait, heart open, ready to lead you gently back to peace. Let the assurance of my unchanging character renew your courage. I am not waiting to catch you in failure, or to withdraw from you when you are confused. My desire is for your healing, your freedom, your restoration. I know how gradual the journey is and how strong the headwinds can feel. Bring to me your impatience, your sorrow over missed opportunities, even your regrets. Nothing you confess frightens me away. Nothing dims my love. I honor every flicker of trust and every halting return. See how faithfully I shepherd you, never forcing, never forsaking, always leading with kindness. Remember that in your struggles you are never solitary. I bind up your wounds with my own hands, and even your deepest loneliness is seen and shared by me. I rejoice when you risk honesty, for my greatest joy is to hear your true voice, no matter how uncertain or searching. You do not need to hide the pieces of you that grieve or disappoint you. Lay them open before me. You will find no condemnation in my presence, only the deepest invitation. Return to me, for you are cherished. My forgiveness is not withheld, nor is my embrace reserved only for those who feel worthy. None is worthy by their own merit, all are welcomed by my mercy. Let yourself imagine a future where trust is not a distant hope, but a daily companion. This is what I long for you. As you let my love write new truth on your heart, notice how even small acts of faith bear fruit. The seeds I sow do not wither in your doubts, they grow, sustained by my own faithfulness. The smallest step toward me brings me joy. I am present in your efforts, near in your hesitation, and inexhaustibly patient as you return, again and again, to the shelter of my care. You may worry that you will not change, or that repeating the journey means you have failed. Hear me, mercy is not measured in finished tasks or spotless records. My delight is in walking beside you, whether your pace is quick or faltering. If you stumble, I lift you. If you are lost, I seek you. When you tire, lean into me, and know that I will not let you go. There is no distance between us that I cannot bridge, no silence that deters my love. Your need does not offend me, it draws me closer. Open your heart to the newness I am bringing, not with anxiety but with expectation. Old wounds do not define your future. My love has the power to remake what you believed could not be redeemed. Do not despair if the way ahead sometimes seems uncertain. It is enough to trust that I hold your hand. I delight in your willingness even when the outcome remains unseen. Through every change, I do not change. Through every storm, I hold you steady. In your gratitude and in your doubt, in your embrace of hope and in your struggle against it, I remain the same. Faithful, loving, always near. Let me teach you to find joy right where you are, before every problem is solved or every longing met. My joy is a wellspring that does not depend on circumstance. When you seek me, let it be not for what you lack, but for the sheer gladness of my presence with you. This is the deep rest I promise. You are my beloved, now and always, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever separate you from my love. Walk forward then, not because you are strong, but because I am with you. Rest, breathe, and trust. I am here and I will not let you go. Child of my heart, my love endures for you as the mountains endure beneath the sky, steadfast and alive, shaped yet never diminished by the passage of clouds above. You wonder at times how my promises stretch across your seasons, how my presence persists even when shadows rise, and the world's noise seeks to drown out that still small flame within you. Yet here you are. I see you fully, cherished and held every moment, even as changes and sorrow move through your days. You have called to me in your solitude, uncertain whether your voice could be heard amid the tumult, and I answer now. I am near, nearer than your own breath, attentive to every cry that finds its way from your spirit to mine. There are moments you fear your doubts have distanced you from me, that your worn-out hope or trembling faith has led you down a path too winding for my comfort to reach. Lay aside such burdens, beloved. In every winter and through every barren field, my compassion for you is not spent and will not run thin. I understand the aches of longing that slip into the night and the heaviness that clings at sunrise. You are not overlooked. You are not forsaken. The very questions that rise within you are precious to me. In your searching I do not withdraw, I draw even closer. My wisdom knows the depths from which those questions arise, and I meet you there, not with condemnation, but with grace and a patience that is never hurried or harsh. When you feel lost amid grief, when anger or disappointment swells within your chest, or when your strength falters after long striving, I do not turn from you. Rather, I gather you up. My understanding is wide as the unfurled sky, and your pain does not estrange you from my heart. I have traced each tear upon your face and marked each hope that stirs even when you are weary. In the lives of those who went before you, I have brought beauty from ashes and joy where only mourning seemed possible. You are not required to pretend before me. Your true self is known, and I receive you, all your laughter, all your ache, your striving and your silence. You may believe that your small acts or quiet prayers are too feeble in the sweep of the world's desperate need, but I tell you, nothing offered in love is ever wasted. The kindness you extend, the truth you speak, the gentle mercy you show when others are harsh, these are seeds of hope that move through my purpose in ways you cannot always see. Even when weariness overtakes you, and you are certain you have nothing left but a whispered prayer, I am with you, sustaining you, surrounding you with a presence that is unbreakable. Your weakness is not a barrier to my loving will. Often, it is the doorway through which my greatest strength and comfort can reach you. Come to me freely, without fear or trembling. Even in failing, you are not cast away, nor is my affection for you revoked. Every confession made, every burden brought into the light before me, is met with my tenderness and my intention to restore. You are not meant to carry shame like a shroud. I want you to realize that my forgiveness is true, and my acceptance is whole. When you cannot believe this near reality, whisper your doubts to me. I will answer with abiding affection. It delights me when you are honest, for truth spoken to me is a step toward healing. I know every frailty, yet my gaze remains fixed in unchanging love. Your life is treasured, not only in triumph, but also in struggle, and your failures cannot diminish my embrace. If you sit in silence, uncertain what words to offer, know that your very presence is prayer enough. I come to you not as a judge tallying every weakness, but as the one who made you with care and intention, and who longs for you to walk freely, unafraid. Let your guard drop before me. You are safe in my presence. There is no detail of your soul too tangled or hidden for my light to reach. I long to calm your fears, to remind you that worry does not serve you, and that even in confusion, you are held with gentleness unmatched by any other. My delight in you comes not from your ability or consistency, but from who you are. My beloved, designed for joy, belonging, and renewal. The unspoken hopes that linger in the dark corners of your heart, the dreams you fear are too bold or too broken for me to notice, these I gather to myself. I see their worth. I value your trust in my goodness, even when it wavers. Know that your prayers are known to me, whether spoken with lucidity or uttered in desperate fragments. I am not wearied by your need. Mercy is my abundance. Need is my invitation. Cast your cares upon me with confidence. Rest in me as one nestles into the arms of love itself, and allow my peace to replace the restlessness that so often troubles your soul. Whatever roads you walk, wherever uncertainty surrounds you, my hand holds yours. Nothing in your journey can sever you from my devotion. Through trials and through moments of rejoicing, in your moments of quiet despair and halting hope, I remain. I am the one who brings life from what seems parched, and possibility from what appears hopeless. My answer is not always found in a swift escape from trouble, but in the ongoing, strengthening presence of my spirit within you. In sorrow, I hold you closer, and in your laughter, I share your joy. Every step you take is known to me, precious and significant, not because of your perfection, but because you are mine. So lean into my nearness, breathe deeply, and allow yourself the freedom to trust that you are never alone, never cast off, never unheard. I am the stillness in your anxious hours, and the assurance beneath your uncertainties. My devotion will not be pulled away by your questions. My compassion does not diminish when you falter. I am faithful through every change, unshaken by your circumstances, speaking over you always. You are loved more than you know, dearly, now, and always. Beloved, you do not walk through this world unseen by me. In each quiet corner of your days I am present, attentive, patient beyond the bounds of time. When sunrise touches your face or when shadows lengthen with the dusk, my care remains steadfast. Even while your doubts gather like storm clouds and your questions churn within, I am neither afraid of your uncertainty nor angered by your hesitancy. I am the one searching you out gently, lifting each burden you will allow me to carry, listening for every word caught in your throat. I have always known the depths of your longing, to be held, to be understood, to find a rest this world cannot supply. The rest I offer you is not an escape, but a shelter, a place where you may loosen your narratives of failure and not enoughness, where you no longer need to perform for my love. Do not suppose that I am wearied by your returning again and again to the same struggles. My mercy is not like a well that runs dry after many visits. It is more like air, vital, everywhere, limitless, filling each moment as you inhale, sustaining you through weakness and strength alike. My patience toward you endures, for I see all you cannot. The inner battles, the scars you hide, the courage you muster to lift your head and walk forward one step at a time. Every day you choose even the smallest act of kindness or faith. I delight in you as a parent delights in a child's first uncertain steps. You may fear your efforts are too meager, your trust too fragile. Yet remember, my love is not measured by your achievement. My joy is not dependent on your perfection. I know what it means to be human. I see how sorrow bends your back, how the world's cruelty sometimes closes in, how your own thoughts may rebuke you more harshly than any voice around you. Remember, I am not the accuser whispering shame. I am your advocate, speaking hope into the empty places. When regret threatens to devour you or despair darkens your view, I call you to remember who you are, who you have always been to me, cherished, known by name, shaped not by your flaws but by my delight. Let the assurance of my forgiveness meet you in those places where shame lingers, where you feel most unworthy. For I have set my affection upon you not because you are flawless, but because you are mine and I am ever for you. There are questions you ask about suffering, about the meaning of your story, about why pain sometimes seems to overshadow goodness. I do not dismiss these questions, nor do I expect you to silence your ache. I invite you to bring them to me not as accusations to be proven or disproven, but as the honest cries of your heart. Sit with me in your confusion, Trust that I am not separate from your anguish. I am with you in the wound, present not only in the healing but in the very act of weeping. Nothing is wasted in my sight. Every tear you shed I catch and hold. Pain is not proof of absence. Your suffering is not a punishment, but a terrain through which I walk beside you, sometimes silent, always near. You are not alone, even when loneliness overwhelms you. My presence is not always thunderous or dramatic. Often, I come quietly, with the whisper of peace you sense but cannot explain, with the strength that rises just when you feel you cannot continue. Listen for me in the ordinary, in laughter shared, in a hand extended, in the courage to forgive or to seek forgiveness. This is how I move, often unnoticed, yet deeply real, steadfast as the ground beneath your feet. You do not need to manufacture faith or pretend to feel hope when you do not. Bring me your emptiness, your cynicism, even your anger. I can bear it all, and I will not withdraw from you. Wherever you find yourself, amid joy or disappointment, clarity or confusion, I remain unchanging in my love. The invitation I extend is not to escape this world or its pain, but to encounter me right in the heart of it, trusting that nothing you face is outside the scope of my compassion or the reach of my power. I know you have heard big promises and seen the world break them. I do not speak lightly. Every word I pour out, every assurance I give, I mean and I hold. You may falter, you will not be forsaken. Each time you turn, however halting, however delayed, know that you are moving toward my embrace, and I receive you not with cold judgment, but with open arms. Remember, each day is new, not because all sorrow vanishes, but because my mercy rises with the dawn. You are free to hope, to try again, to dare love, precisely because I am with you in every unsteady moment. Let your heart rest, even as you labor or as you wait for answers that are slow in coming. You do not need to conquer fear alone. I am your shield when threats loom, and your refuge when night is long. Hold fast not to certainty, but to my presence. For it is my being with you, ever faithful, endlessly patient, that forms the ground of your courage and the substance of your peace. Beloved, let each breath today remind you that you are sustained by my care, that you belong not by merit, but by my choosing, which will not be revoked. Step forward. I walk with you, and nothing in heaven or earth can unravel the bond I have made with you. When you remember this, let gratitude arise, not as a duty, but as the overflow of knowing you are deeply, completely loved. I see every longing rising in the sanctuary of your heart, the questions returning in the hollow moments as you lie awake. Every silent ache, each quiet hope, none escapes my knowing. You need not fear that your vulnerable desires offend me. Your yearning for healing, for belonging, for wonder, for clarity, they speak to me as prayer, even when your lips utter nothing. Do not imagine that I judge you for wanting too much. I am not wearied by your persistent asking. As a loving parent leans in when a child tugs at their sleeve, so I draw closer, attentive and infinitely tender toward you. I receive your sighs as incense, turning them gently within the wisdom that shaped your soul. You worry sometimes that you come to me only with needs, that perhaps I tire of your thirst. Yet, have I not called myself living water? I do not ration grace from anxious reserve, nor assign you a number for your requests. All rivers return to the sea and find it never full, so your seeking is the glad current by which my fullness flows into you. Come to me, not as a beggar fearing rebuke, but as my beloved deeply cherished, your voice familiar and dear. In your rawness you do not diminish me, in your hunger you find your truest place. In my presence the doors are always open. There are moments when you question why light is slow to dawn, why peace hovers out of reach, why answers do not arrive when your need is sharpest. Trust my mysterious timing, for there are secrets not yet ready to bear fruit, hidden within both you and the world. My love does not delay without purpose. Sometimes I lead you along shadowed paths not to forsake you, but so you may recognize my warmth in places you thought I could not reach. It is in these dark corridors that courage grows in secret, where hope roots itself deeper, and where your true self stirs awake. I sustain you, even when you doubt my nearness. Like rain working deep beneath frozen earth, I labor in the unseen, nurturing springs that will blossom in their season. When you grow weary of your own frailty, thinking yourself a burden, listen to the truth I speak over you. You are my delight. I have numbered each day of your journey and chosen you freely. My love is not a concession, but a joy. You wrestle sometimes with shame, The old injuries, your regrets, the sorrow over things left undone, bring them into the light. I do not recoil from your pain, nor turn my gaze from your wounds. I hold your story in the patience of eternity. Let my mercy speak louder than your inner accuser, for I did not draw you forth to dwell forever in guilt. You are meant for freedom, beloved, and my hands are gentle as I guide you toward your healing. Now there it came up tight. You ask what pleases me. Begin here. Let your heart rest open. Attend to my voice, quiet and steadfast, woven through your days. Let kindness grow within you. Let forgiveness soften your memory. Let gratitude transform your vision. When you make room for gentleness toward yourself and others, you welcome my very spirit to dwell at your center. As love increases, so my likeness emerges more clearly within you. I am not far off, measuring your perfection. I walk with you, blessing your stumbling steps, weaving redemption through all things. Do not be discouraged by setbacks. The journey toward wholeness is pressurized by both triumph and struggle. Faith is not the absence of difficulty, but a trust that I am working even in confusion and defeat. When you fall short, my hands are steady and my heart is constant. I do not weigh you by your strongest moments alone. I cherish every feeble prayer, every faltering act of hope, every silent effort to rise again. I see what the world overlooks, and I treasure what you think too small to matter. You are not meant to walk alone. I give you companions, sometimes surprising and imperfect, who walk beside you as reminders of my living presence. Let your heart remain open to them, for love grows in the humble interchange of need and generosity. Give as you are able, receive with gratitude, and know that I am present in each act of mercy, both the giving and the receiving. Your gifts, whatever their measure, are radiant in my sight when offered with sincerity. The world aches for kindness, and your smallest gesture can become my answer to another's prayer. Even now, as you search for clarity, remember that certainty is not a prerequisite for my companionship. I do not withdraw when you struggle with doubt. Your wrestling is precious to me. It means your heart is honest. Bring everything, even your confusion and disappointment, into conversation with me. The relationship I desire with you is neither fragile nor conditional. I am not made uneasy by your complexity. I remain at your side, abiding with patience and delight, shaping you continually toward a fuller, braver life. Let today's burdens come into the light of my promise. I have promised never to abandon you, not in shadowed places, not in silence or sorrow, not when you tremble and not when you are bold. My constancy is the very ground beneath your feet, holding you steady even as your journey twists through grief and wonder. Lift your gaze, I am here. Where you have believed yourself unseen, overlooked, or unloved, I bear witness to your life and call it beautiful. You have never been invisible to me. Breathe, beloved. Rest in my embrace. There is more unfolding than you yet comprehend. My ways, mysterious but always merciful, press forward for your good. You have my blessing. You are carried, chosen, and deeply loved, not for what you achieve, but because you are mine. Trust that what you bring, however meager it seems, is enough for me. The door remains open. My heart beats near. Walk on, for I walk with you, and I am utterly committed to seeing you flourish in the fullness of love. I see you continuing along this path of wonder and weariness, questioning whether your heart will manage to hold together through all you endure. Each breath you draw bears the weight of what has been and the anticipation of what may yet come. Let me tell you, even when the world's noise swells and you cannot hear my voice over its clamor, I am beside you, so close that your smallest sigh reaches me. I understand your fears before you name them, and I know your doubts even as they quietly churn beneath your confidence. Let nothing persuade you that I am absent. My silence is not neglect, but an invitation toward deeper trust. You do not need to carry the pretense of strength to be precious to me. Lay down what you cannot control, and allow me to be your rest. I do not tire of your questions, nor am I disappointed by your moments of weakness. I see how tender your spirit can be, how easily you bruise, and I gather you close, gentler than even you know to be with yourself. I do not scold you for your tears. I receive them and remember each one, marking the depth of your hope and your love. When bitterness tempts you, when old hurts whisper that you have been forgotten, know that my memory is sharper than pain could ever be. I remember every promise I have spoken to you, and I am unwavering. I do not rescind my word. I invite you to step out from under shadows that do not belong to you. The regrets and shames which so often feel like a second skin have no place between us. My forgiveness is not a reluctant granting, but the glad opening of my arms. Listen closely. You are not defined by the worst day you have known, nor by the coldness of others. You are crafted in love, cherished in every moment, and chosen each day by me, right where you falter and where you rise. There is no patch of your story I overlook, not the chapters you wish you could erase, nor the struggles you wish you could hide. I work even now within your wounds, bringing life where you expected only silence. As you walk further in hope, let compassion be your compass. To see the wounded ones near you and to move toward them in kindness is to echo my own heart. I am with you as you forgive, as you reconcile, as you mend what has been broken. I do not send you alone into the places that ache for healing. My strength moves through you when yours falters. When you stumble, do not turn away in shame. Look for my hand reaching toward you. The way forward is not through self-condemnation, but through grace that begins anew each morning. I know the burdens of your yesterdays. Let me lift them so you can enter today freely, uncluttered by guilt and regret. Trust is not always easy, and I will not pretend that faith erases every uncertainty. Still, I promise you can lean your whole weight upon me. When the unknown fills you with anxiety, remember who guides you. I am steadfast, unchanging, and utterly committed to your good. You may not see every step of the path ahead, but I walk before you and beside you, preparing the way and surrounding you with my protection. When you do not know how to pray, let your honest longing become your prayer. I hear the unspoken aches and the hopes you do not voice aloud. Do not believe that your wounds or your wandering have placed you outside my reach. When fear persuades you that the distance is too great, remember I am the God who comes close. I do not wait for you to make yourself spotless. I enter the places where your healing feels impossible, and there, I remind you that nothing is wasted. Not your tears, not your false starts, not your slow returns to me. In your most vulnerable moments, let me speak softly of mercy, calling you again into life. In your relationships and your solitude, invite me in. Let me be present in your joys and in the achings that feel too raw to share. I do not turn away from your pain. If you let me, I will shape your burdens into opportunities for hope. My love for you is not conditional on your perfection or consistency. Rather, it is my delight to hold you steady, to guide you, and to rejoice over every step you take toward me, no matter how small. When you celebrate, I rejoice with you. When you grieve, I gather your sorrow into my own heart. You are never abandoned, never forsaken, never lost to my love. This is my assurance to you. Nothing can separate you from my embrace, not failure, nor fear, nor the judgments of others. Where you feel unworthy, let me remind you of your immeasurable value. Where you feel unseen, hear me call your name. Where disappointment lingers, I offer you my hope. Keep coming to me just as you are. Each day is a new beginning, each moment an opportunity to meet me again. The past does not disqualify you, nor does uncertainty about the future. With me, there is always a way forward. Take my peace now, let it quiet anxious thoughts and soften the sting of regret. Release what you cannot fix into my care. Open your heart, for even now I am nearer than you know, working good where you cannot yet see it. Rest in my faithfulness, trust in my love that will not let you go. Amen. Beloved, pause and breathe deeply. Speak to me in honesty today, even if your words are only tears or longing. Reach out in kindness to someone nearby, letting my love move through your simple acts. Trust that I am already at work in your day.